State leaders working to keep it that way, animal movement being more tightly controlled, and producers are being told to inspect any of their animals' wounds and report anything suspicious immediately. That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. All right, for now on the interstates, we've got the usual brake, tapping, stop, and go, especially if you are eastbound South Loop over to 65. It's building eastbound 440 over to 24, and then both directions 40 between downtown and the 440 split. Got a crash in Hermitage, this one involving injury at Old Hickory Boulevard. They're just north of I-40. And then in Glencliff, we've got a stalled vehicle now off on the left shoulder. It's 40 westbound before Spence Lane. I'm Ken Weaver.
Hello, friends. Welcome in. Once again, it is the Matt Murphy Radio Show underway for another day this Tuesday, June 9, in the year of our Lord 2026. Happy to have you on board for today, whether you're here for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, the full hour, or the full 4. We thank you for it on a variety of different platforms. So never you fear, if you leave your car and want to take us where you go, you can do so on your iPhone, your smartphone, or your laptop computer, doing so through the various apps. We'll talk about those in just a moment. Obviously, we're on the FM dial, 99.7 FM. Hope you enjoy listening online on 997WTN.com. The streaming is up and running there. Of course, Spotify, iHeart, TuneIn, just to name 3. Our own app, SuperTalk 99.7 WTN, and then Talk TV, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Rumble. Talk TV is up and running for you masochists who want to watch the radio show being made. Much like pickle bread being made, this radio show. More on pickle bread coming up in a moment. Did he leave you a piece of that pickle bread?
No, he ate it all.
I wanted you. You'll get a piece of Ken's then.
No, I'm kidding. It's in the other room.
Okay, very good. I want you to have a piece of that. He's trying to get out of his commitment to have some pickle bread, Ken.
It looks delicious.
Well, it is a very interesting thing, that pickle bread. Yeah, well, you should. I would love to know how you think about it. While you do that, I'm going to offer the pleasantries. Thank you for being with us. It's episode 1053 of our gatherings together on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hopefully will be a good one. We failed to talk about the fireworks show that was on I-75 over the weekend. I'll perhaps get into that today, but there are other fireworks going on around the United States of America that we will get into as the show begins. Karmelo Anthony faces from 5 to 99 years or life in prison as a result of his guilty conviction today. There are a lot of very animated people screaming and yelling outside of the courthouse in McKinney, Texas. Karmelo Anthony convicted of murder in the killing of Austin Metcalf. Many people want to make this about race. It is not. Many people want to make this about a lack of justice. It was not. If you follow the facts of the case, and I encourage you to call me if you have any questions or if you have any concerns or you think I'm misrepresenting anything that we're about to talk about, give me a call at 615-737-9986. We can work through this. We were told in 2008 when Barack Hussein Obama was elected president of the United States of America that it began a process by which we lived in a post-racial America. But there are way too many people that make way too much money on racism and race baiting that we will not be at a post-racial America until all of us involved demand it. And sadly, there are many people that want to make something that has nothing to do or little to do with race all about it. This has to do with an individual feeling empowered and emboldened to stab another person and kill them in cold blood, regardless of whether it was their intention to kill them or not. Well, that was up to a jury to decide, and the jury made the determination a little bit earlier today. We're going to talk about that, and we'll break down the facts of the case as we understand it and as I've been following. And I've been following it probably a little more than most. Just watching this, observing this, recognizing that the possibility existed that we're going to have some, dare I say, civil unrest in the Dallas, Texas area, in the McKinney, Texas area as a result of what was decided by a jury of one's peers today. Some are trying to make hay about the fact that there was not a black individual seated on the jury. I was under the understanding, or I was in the understanding that we could fairly adjudicate a case like this beyond the color of our skin. The suggestion that you have to have black people on a jury where there is a black person accused of wrongdoing is in and of itself a racist statement, and I'm having none of it. I would imagine that the defense team for Karmelo Anthony had already decided that that would be their basis for appeal because they're going to do what they need to do to try to protect or help out their client. That's what defense attorneys do. The reason I would extrapolate that, or the reason I would suggest that, is simple. They did not put Karmelo Anthony on the stand, and their entire case was centered around self-defense. I cannot, as a juror, determine adequately that an individual was acting in self-defense without hearing from that individual, right? Now, the judge in the case might tell me or tell the other jurors not to use that as a determining factor, but it's not a matter of determining guilt based on an absence of testimony. It's a matter of the absence of testimony not demonstrating to me that there was a real belief that someone's life was in danger, and that's why they acted in the way that they did, which was the argument all along from Karmelo Anthony's team, that he feared for his life, that he feared that he was in danger, and that he acted out as a result of that. Would love to hear from you on the case, and hopefully, look, we can appeal to the better angels and hope that cooler heads will prevail before night falls in McKinney, Texas, and beyond. We can hope. I would also hope, and it has been demonstrated based on some video that I've been seeing over the course of the last hour or so as I've been watching this case unfold. And, the jury got the case a little over an hour ago. The verdict came in a little over an hour ago. The jury only deliberated for about 3 hours, which was a strong indication that they did not really consider manslaughter. Maybe they, debated it, talked about it. Hopefully we'll hear from some of the jurors at some point in the aftermath of all of this. In the meantime, there are other news items going on. Donald Trump was at Madison Square Garden last night. I absolutely love it. The media seemed shocked and surprised and amazed that he was booed in New York City, which is pretty funny to me. The media knew exactly what was going to happen. Donald Trump knew exactly what was going to happen and did not care. I do wish that Donald Trump would have leaned into the heel role a little more. I want to talk about that in just a second. In the meantime, there's Ken Weaver back in News Closet B. He gathers headlines for a living, delivers them twice an hour, and when it breaks, and everyone has a question on their lips. And the question is, how you doing, Ken?
How about you, boys?
How you?
I'm doing good.
All right. Get some sleep last night?
Yes, sir.
That's nice. How's the birds?
The birds are working. They are working very well.
That is excellent. That is excellent news. Jackson, did you get some sleep last night too?
Yes, sir. A little delayed.
You look refreshed.
Yeah, I watched a great movie last night.
What'd you watch, Jackson?
F1 with Brad Pitt.
F what? Oh, it's a movie. Never mind. I
Formula One.
Thought you were saying something nasty to me. The Brad. I've heard that this is very good.
It's excellent.
I've heard that this is a quality film.
I wanted to watch it after Days of Thunder and our trip to the NASCAR race, so I watched it last night, and it was excellent.
That's the way to go, Brother Jack.
That's the way to get it done.
Long movie.
Oh yeah, it's 3 hours?
2.5.
Yeah. Okay. Oh well, that's a nightmare for you.
Well, when you start watching it at 10:45 after the NBA game,
did you now? How'd you enjoy? Did you watch all of that game?
I watched the majority of it.
I watched the last 3 minutes of it.
It was great.
I just wanted to see if Donald Trump would stymie the New York Knicks and spur, no pun intended, the San Antonio team on to victory, which he apparently did. And now he's being blamed for it, which is funny. I feel like I have a bug on me. Y'all stand by.
Hey, one of them deer ticks.
Y'all, the last 48 hours have been bad because I still got this thing on my arm that is itchy.
Yeah. Is it growing?
It's not growing.
That's good.
Well, I don't know. Is that because I itched it?
Let me see.
Tick bites itch for a while.
Oh.
You see that right there? Can you see it? There it is, right there.
Ken, you ready for the Ken and Jackson show by Thursday?
You never know. I still can't hear out of my right ear, but I feel like that is sympathy hearing loss for Ken Weaver. That's what I think.
It's that or allergies.
Well, you know how they say that husbands will get pains in their stomach area when their wives are pregnant?
Yes, sir.
I feel like that's what I'm doing for you, Ken.
Well, usually that's because the wife has clocked the husband in the stomach.
Well, fair. Fair. Hey, Jackson, can you hear Ken adequately? Ken in my headphones seems like he's got a lower volume level.
How about now?
Oh, Ken, you sound great.
Sorry, I had to turn it down a little bit.
Ken, you sound good. People are asking about you. They're so happy that you're back, and they're loving on you, Ken. They're loving on you, Weaver.
I appreciate it very, very much.
Wow. 0607, and as a matter of fact, speaking of that love, says, I got a woodpecker causing some damage to my carport. I need Ken Weaver here ASAP to take care of this. I don't know. Weaver's playing hurt right now, y'all. I don't know that he could handle a woodpecker. The woodpecker might get the better of it.
Well, I reconciled with the woodpeckers. I reconciled with them.
Yes, you've made peace.
I've made peace with them.
You know, you're like Lieutenant Dan in Forrest Gump. You've made your peace with the woodpeckers.
That's right.
You call that a woodpecker? I'm just imagining Ken Weaver on top of the ship during the storm. Zoo Stew, yeah. So I figured out a way that I could be pro-zoo, y'all.
All right.
Because I got accused of being anti-zoo yesterday, and I suppose I am. Now, I'm not nearly as anti-zoo as apparently Chris Hand is.
Brother Chris Hand does not care for the zoo.
Hand made his feelings on the zoo known plain. Now, yesterday I just said that the zoo was a convenient way to get animals to babysit your kids, and I didn't understand why they were charging so much money. And ultimately, we need to face the fact that we're keeping God's creatures in captivity, and we don't really need it anymore. Today, it occurred to me, and I was thinking about this while listening to Hand this morning. Zoos are a lot like beauty pageants. I understand why we had them initially, but I don't understand why we continue to have them. And I feel like the people that are justifying the continuance of these things are doing so in a way that is a little disingenuous. On the beauty pageant front, they say, oh, no, these things are about scholarships. They're not about the pageants and the bikini contests and the evening gown competition anymore. It's all about scholarship, to which I say, well, can't we give out scholarships in a different way? I'm kind of anti-beauty pageant. I'm anti-zoo in the same way. I understand why we had zoos way back in the day. I don't quite understand why we continue to have zoos. There seem to be better ways to do it, but one way or the other, I know a lot of people are pro-zoo, and that's all well and good. That's fine. I'm not here to knock it. Y'all do you. Keep those animals in captivity and go see them and, laugh at the hyenas and, clown around with the giraffes and do whatever you want to do. But here's what I would say. If we really want to give our young children the full human-dominant experience, what we need to do at the end of an animal's life cycle within the zoo. So an animal has a nice life, a cushy life in the confines of the zoo. I think we should extend their usefulness within the zoo and serve these animals to patrons at the various eating establishments within the zoo. Y'all with me? Jackson's not even listening to the show.
I don't know about that, Brother Murphy. How would that taste?
Well, I don't know, kid. I mean, I don't know how flamingo tastes, but let's find out. They carry turkey legs around Renaissance fairs.
We can't eat flamingos.
We could have flamingo legs walking around the zoo. Delicious flamingo.
Flamingo falafels.
Flamingo falafels. Ken Weaver's already on board so much he's coming up with the items for the menu. And then you could like describe, how much the animal meant to the zoo prior to being on the menu. Like
give it a name.
Here's Andy the antelope. He was in the antelope exhibit for 20 years.
And then we killed him so you could eat him.
No. He died of natural causes.
You don't want one that died of natural causes. That's tough meat.
Well, I mean, okay.
Antelope andouille sauce.
See, Weaver, he's an idea man. He's a Renaissance man with ideas, people.
You just wait for that Bobcat blue cheese to come around and...
Ooh, a Bobcat bite with blue cheese dressing. It's like a little, call them a Bobcat bite, but they're sliders.
You're a sick man.
They're sliders. And you could have hey, here's Moonbay, our silverback gorilla, who learned sign language during his 20 years at the zoo and always said he wanted to be a nice stew upon his death.
This is why I root for Denny Hamlin.
I don't want to talk about it. I'm very upset about this. Ken, have you heard this?
No.
I take Jackson to his first ever NASCAR race, right? A couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Truck race out at Nashville Superspeedway.
Yes, sir.
And this gets Jackson kind of into it, right? And as it does for a lot of people. You're out there and the motors are revving and it's pretty exciting. He decides to watch a race on Sunday. He heard me tell everyone at that race on Friday that Denny Hamlin was my least favorite driver, that I didn't like Denny Hamlin.
Right.
So guess who Jackson has decided is his favorite driver?
Mr.
Ken?
Hamlin.
Denny Hamlin.
He just announced his car for this weekend. It's got the Minions on it.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, is there another Minion movie out?
Yeah, coming out.
Oh, that's nice. Isn't that great? Oh, look, everybody's coming up with good ideas, like silver baby back ribs. Kevin says dibs on the red panda meat. 22-27. Old meat's not great. That's why we slaughter them when they're young. I get it. 60-28. I tried Bobcat once. Gave me the runs. Well, it'll do that.
Tiger tacos.
Teriyaki tiger. Meerkat strips. Oh, is that one too much?
Bison burger. Rhino nuggets.
Cheetah chips.
Ooh.
Gotta catch them quick. I'm just saying, if we're going to use animals for our own amusement and delight, why would we not continue that process? It's kind of my same theory about horse racing, and I'm not kidding. I'm fine. Horse racing only exists because of gamblers. Period. End of the discussion. And don't tell me, the horses, they race on their own out on the prairie. Yeah, but they don't get in a starting lineup. They don't get in a gate. They don't come to the track themselves. Just stop it. But here's the thing. I'm fine with horse racing. I'm all good with horse racing. Just to admit that it's all about the gambling. Here's the one caveat that I would put on horse racing. You know what happens if a horse has a dramatic fall and they break a leg, right?
They kill it.
They kill it. So my one thing is, if that happens, which happens regularly at horse tracks, everybody has to watch. Look, if you want to see the good part, you got to see the bad part.
That's
But
what business right there.
That's
What?
where's the dignity for the animal?
No, the animal. Do you think the animal cares? They just broke a leg. Oh, it's just a flesh wound. No, we got to shoot you, buddy. You're no good to anybody now. We can't stud you out, and the rehab's going to take way too much time and money.
It would end horse racing really quickly.
Like I remember a couple of years ago at the Kentucky Derby, there were I think there were 9 horses that were put down over the course of the week. And I'm like, look, I'm fine with it. Y'all just need to face the reality. People want to ignore the reality of horse racing. Just face up to the reality. And if you're cool with that, okay, that's cool.
But how are you going to do it? You're going to make a fan zone?
Pow, pow. Right there on the track, buddy. Pow, pow.
That's horrible. Then you got to get people to clean it up.
Well, is it any less horrible than having to do it?
It's contained in the stable.
All right. Well, I mean, if you want to give them a shot and just watch them keel over on the track, that's fine. But everybody's got to watch.
What if, like, an animal slips on the remnants, and then you have to put another horse down? It becomes a vicious cycle.
You're not going to leave it there. You take it up.
But, like,
although that's an idea. It's a quality idea. There are no bad ideas in a brainstorming session. We're brainstorming Zoo Meat.
What about leopard lollipops?
That's pretty good. I like that. Flamingo on a stick makes sense to me because their legs are like the sticks, and we could probably figure out a way to make the sticks look like their little legs. And I feel for some reason I feel like flamingo meat would be pretty stringy. I don't know. So if
Flamingo
you want to
cotton candy.
Oh, God.
Ken, that's a good idea because it looks like the animal. Yeah. See, now we're thinking outside of the box. African elephant ears. Get it? I see what you did there. And yes, 9929, I did think about Oh Brother, Where Art Thou when I was thinking about this idea earlier today. Y'all can blame Chris Hand because I was inspired by Hand on this front. But I'm all about it. Just, enjoy the animals while they're alive, and then you can enjoy them in death at the various grills and, the Rainforest Cafe or whatever the hell they're calling it out there.
You ever been to a rainforest cafe?
I have. I've not been to the one in Opry. I've been by the one in Opry Mills. Where did I go to a Rainforest Cafe? Was it in Las Vegas? I've been to one.
I saw this
I'm pretty
YouTube video, and out of sick curiosity, this guy drove to every rainforest cafe left in the United States.
It can't be that many, right?
But it's all over the country. He started in L.A., and he went all the way to New York and Florida.
It's awesome.
Eating
There's one
only
here in Nashville, isn't there?
Yeah, there's one out at Opry Mills.
It's like an hour-long video, and he is just, if you skip to the end, he is just so sick of it by the end of it.
I don't recall the food being that good.
It's so funny.
I love our audience. I'm just going to run this down real quick. Got to go to break. Y'all ready?
Yes, sir.
Giraffe jerky, parrot soup, frozen flamingo fingers, crock pot crocodile stew, Asian elephant stir fry, meerkat kebabs, panther pot roast, koala kebab, kangaroo kebabs, penguin popsicles, monkey bread, kangaroo mountain oysters. Dogs are eaten all over the world. That's just random. Flamingo flambe. Matt, zoo meat is gross. Change the subject. You know what? 8717. I think zoos are gross. How about that? Super Talk. Now you're starting to get the point. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hello, friends. It's Matt Murphy for Efficient Heating and Cooling. We can all agree that it is hot outside and just going to get hotter before it gets cooler. Y'all know it. Summertime is around the corner officially, right? June 21st, I guess it is. But the heat is here. 90-degree weather with all of that humidity. And that leads us to efficient heating and cooling. They want to make sure that your home is cool as you need it to be, when you need it to be, and you should not have to beg for that thing to work. You need to call Efficient Heating and Cooling. There's still plenty of time to maintenance that unit because there's so much summer. I mean, all of summer is left before it's going to get cool again. The best way to head off costly repairs is that maintenance plan. And don't forget about the maintenance guarantee at Efficient Heating and Cooling. That simply means they don't charge over $125 to come out to a maintenance call in their service area. And when they service your unit, if they have to come back out for any reason this summer, they're not going to charge you a service fee at all. Now, they'll figure out what's going on and you go from there, but you don't have to pay twice for the service call when you shouldn't. That's the maintenance guarantee with Efficient Heating and Cooling. They're going to get you back right without overcharging you, without charging you invoices that are double time on the weekends or at night, and they're never going to recommend that you replace that unit unless it's absolutely time. Jeff Eddy in Efficient Heating and Cooling. Call them today, 615-784-4424, 784-4424, or efficienthvac.net.
Got the full forecast and traffic coming up in 5 minutes. A verdict has been reached in the closely watched trial of Karmelo Anthony. Anthony faces a murder charge in the death of 17-year-old Austin Metcalf following a confrontation at a school track meet. Jurors weighed claims of self-defense against the prosecution's argument that the attack was unjustified. The outcome of the case will be revealed when the verdict is read in court. And again, it is guilty of murder. President Trump said in a social media post today that Iran is responsible for shooting down the Apache Army helicopter near the Strait of Hormuz. He also said that the U.S., quote, must out of necessity respond to this attack. The two service members on board the helicopter were able to be rescued by the U.S. U.S. officials say they were rescued by a drone boat. Now we're just waiting to see what the U.S. response is. Right now in Middle Tennessee, Democrats have voluntarily dropped their federal lawsuit to try to block the state's new congressional maps. News Channel 5 says Chief U.S. District Judge for the Middle District of Tennessee, William L. Campbell Jr., signed an order today dismissing the case without prejudice, which means the claims could be potentially refiled in the future. And here in Nashville, a woman is hospitalized after some dogs she was reportedly fostering attacked her. Channel 4's Joylyn Bukovac says police say officers forced their way into the home on North 14th Street.
Metro Police say that officers responded to this house right here after reports of a woman screaming inside of the home. Neighbors are the one that heard her needing help, and they called 911. Metro Police say what officers found inside the home forced them to make a split-second decision.
Yeah, they shot and killed 5 dogs, pit bulls, they say, were attacking that woman. She was fostering them from a rescue operation. The victim rushed to the hospital with severe injuries. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. All right, drivers, we have very heavy rain scattered across portions of Middle Tennessee, mainly north of I-40. We've got some crashes we're contending with right now in Hermitage, Old Hickory Boulevard, just north of 40. Then in Glencliff, you've got a stalled vehicle, left shoulder block, 40 westbound before Spence Lane. Rivergate, a crash, 65 southbound before Vietnam Veterans Boulevard. I'm Ken Weaver.
Often I'm talking with you when we refer to King and Associates Insurance about homeowners, about automobile insurance, but I want for a moment to talk to you about life insurance. If you have kids, this message is for all of you because life insurance ultimately is not about you. It's about your spouse. It's about your loved ones. It's about your children. It's about those that you leave behind. You want to make sure that the house is paid for, that college is still possible, that life doesn't change. I mean, obviously it changes overnight, but it should not change in a way that's going to so negatively impact their financial situation. Finances are the last things that you should be thinking about in a tragedy like that. That is why at King and Associates Insurance, they make it very simple with no pressure, no confusion, clear options that fit your family and the needs for your family. Folks, we all are going to pass at some point. We don't like to think about that, but the bottom line is you want to make sure that your family's taken care of in the unlikely event. 615-329-8121, 329-8121, or visit online at tkinginsurance.com. That's tkinginsurance.com, protecting what matters most. Hello, friends. How do you keep your important valuables secure from theft or fire? Well, I've got a way, and it is Nashville Safe House. Mark and his team are great at what they do. For 34-plus years, they've been providing high-quality safes at affordable prices to Middle Tennessee, all across this area. Everybody knows when you're looking for a safe, the first, second, and last stop that you make will be at Nashville Safe House. They have all of the safes that you need in stock, literally millions of dollars of safes in stock. Why do they do that? Because Mark wants to make sure he's got the right one for you, ready to go, and he allows his professional delivery team to deliver your safe. You know exactly who's inside of your home because those people work for Mark and his team at Nashville Safe House. They don't subcontract out their delivery crews because you don't know who's in your house. That's why Mark says don't let a crackhead deliver your safe. Let the professionals at Nashville Safe House deliver that safe. Gun safes are always sales tax free at Nashville Safe House. Plus, they've got an item for you. The Murphy is right there in the showroom. Right there. It's got a big sign on it. It says, this is the Murphy. And you can look at that sucker, and you can look at the biometrics and all of the rest of the safes. Say hey to Jill when you're in there at Nashville Safe House. NashvilleSafeHouse.com or 4th Avenue South in Nashville, across from City Cemetery. Tell them I sent you. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. The Matt Murphy Show continues. Donald Trump was at Madison Square Garden last night. We shall discuss. I failed to, and we'll do this perhaps in the 6 o'clock hour tonight. Elon Musk has responded to me, and we failed to do that yesterday. I'm very excited about the possibility of going to work for SpaceX. I'll explain to you what we mean when we discuss. There was an awful situation that happened out in Ireland, across the pond, North Belfast, Ireland, that I want to offer you the details of that situation. We've got an update on the John Rose poll that he promised us this week. Remember when John Rose was on with us last week? He promised us a poll, and I've gotten it. And, well, disappointment is not the word. Disappointment's not the word. Anyway, more coming up on that as we progress over the course of the Matt Murphy Show. The big story today, the big breaking news today, is the verdict in the Karmelo Anthony case. If you've not been following this case, I'm going to try to go through it with you. Take your telephone calls and your thoughts on it at 615-737-9986, 615-737-9986. Also continuing to discuss, Hand this morning inspired me. His anti-zoo screed inspired me. Because I thought it was just because I didn't have kids, but Hand's got a handful of them, no pun intended, and he doesn't care for zoos. And I thought, as I was listening to him, I thought, zoos are like beauty pageants. They really don't have any functional usefulness anymore, but we kind of make up usefulness. Oh, it's educational opportunities. Oh, the animal, we need to conserve the animals and protect the animals. You could probably do that without zoos. Anyway, zoos are kind of like beauty pageants in that way, and you could make me pro zoo if you started just going ahead and selling the animals. You could sell the pelts in the gift shop at a premium. Now, if you think that's gross, why? Why? I mean, seriously, why would you think that is a step too far? Because these animals are our buddies. Come on. MC is first up on the Matt Murphy Show today. Hello, MC. Glad you called.
Good afternoon, Mr. Murphy. I'm glad I'm able to call.
Yes, sir. What's on your mind, MC?
Well, I don't really like to, I hate to talk about my past lives, but I was formerly an attorney in the state that you labored in many years, and you know that from some of the names I've dropped. But I know people on death row, white and black. And I can't remember if I know any females. I know some that should be. But anyway, as to the Anthony case or Metcalf case, however we want to name it, it's actually, I guess, the state of Texas versus Karmelo Anthony with a K. This is going to be used to foment rage. The political types want a second season of rage mirroring 2020 to influence the election. But on the basic level, the young man, I believe, knew his victim, I think. I don't know for sure. That's something to be interesting to know. But anyway, I believe they came to the correct verdict. Now, a lot of people oppose the death penalty. I do not. And I was a rare defense attorney who did not, I didn't actively support it, but I agreed that it was proper punishment in well adjudicated cases. Okay. And our death penalty system in this country, since it's been declared unconstitutional and then reinstated, there's going to be a penalty phase and all this, and they'll come to the right decision. Thing is, the agitators, and that's what you should call them, they don't care, okay? And they will say, well, we're being very American, they would compare themselves to the Boston Tea Party. Well, whatever. I disagree with that too, but I'm just glad that I'm not on the streets out there, because if you're not aware of what's going on, you may go down the wrong street.
Well, that's true. I get, MC, for some reason, based on the nature of this case, and based on reasonable people of all colors, of all races, of all ethnicities, coming to the same conclusion, outside of the agitators and outside of those who have refused to look at the basic facts of the case, and there are plenty of those people outside of the courtroom, for some reason, and I could be proven way wrong, for some reason, I don't think we're going to see what these agitators want us to see. I don't think there's going to be widespread rioting or widespread civil unrest. For some reason, I don't know why I feel that way, but I just feel that way. Maybe I'm being a Pollyanna.
I would hope not to, and I don't know. I don't think that. What's your middle name? Jonathan Swift, Langhorne Clemens. I don't think you're a Pollyanna. Okay, don't talk like that to me. But I vehemently disagree with you about horse racing. But of course, I am also a gambler, and you're right though. There's nothing worse than seeing a horse break down, and at Saratoga.
Have you ever? Let me ask you this, and look, I don't begrudge how people get their enjoyment, and I would not shut it down. It's a free country. I just I call it like I see it. But I always ask this question when I talk to people who push back against my theory that the only reason horse racing exists is because of gambling, and I say to them, "Have you ever gone to a track without placing a bet?"
Well, our Belle Meade types and Brentwood types, excuse me, I'm losing my voice. They congregate out there at Warner Park, and many of them, I know them, and they're friends and beloved. It's interesting. But the week after the Derby.
Well, I mean, it's certainly, you're talking about the steeple. That's a social
Well, those are older, stronger horses, too.
Well, I learned, we went on a little tour of Belle Meade Plantation, and I did not know this, MC, but horse breeding and, the epicenter of thoroughbred racing was in Tennessee until Tennessee banned gambling in the state, and then it moved to Kentucky where gambling was allowed.
Quite true. Yeah. Everything you say is true, and Belle Meade's got 2 streets named after horses, Inquirer and Iroquois.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of gone down I made a right turn down. I always make right turns like J. Edgar Hoover, huh? Down a rabbit hole. That's a joke. That's a true story. You ever heard that story?
It's a good one.
He had one black FBI agent who was his driver, and he wouldn't let him turn left. He got so crazy. And Hoover loved horse racing.
Three rights. 2 rights make a wrong, and 3 rights make a left. That's the joke, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's why he thought. Anyway, I'll pray for our country as we always should. And I want to throw one. I always go somewhere. Who do you know that was involved in the Boston Massacre? That was one of the victims.
Crispus Attucks.
That's the only one I know. What was his color?
He's black.
Damn right.
Yeah.
You have a great day.
Thank you.
Jackson, I'm looking forward to your show.
Just need that tick to get a hold of him.
It's in there. It's coursing through my veins. That tick disease, that sugar is coursing through. I haven't tried red meat since I got bit, so who knows what'll happen. Dennis is next up. Dennis wants to talk about the zoo. Hey, Dennis.
Hey there, Matt. Listen to you a lot when I'm driving. In fact, that's the only way I know you guys is when I'm driving.
I'm glad you do, brother. Thank you.
But I couldn't help but notice the Brad Paisley stuff on the TV news. And in a report this morning, one of the guys pointed out the noise that the data centers put off, a low humming noise. I had not heard that before, and I've never been to or around a data center, but I know this. And maybe we should challenge Mr. Brad Paisley here, and that is that Nashville should be pretty proud of the recording studio, the industry, the buildings that they build with regard to soundproofing. Think about where they put these studios, and you don't ever hear street noise. You know, why not apply that to how you build the data center? Now, I know that only addresses the low humming noise, but recording studios also use a ton of energy. You ever seen how many computers are going on in a studio, and the air conditioning as well?
Yeah.
You know, so. But I'm just saying, like a building inside of a building with an airlock around, 18 inches of airlock, so to speak, around the perimeter of the building to prevent, and if they do that and a few things that you do with rubber underneath the wood before you place it and all that kind of thing, maybe we need to challenge them on that. Make people proud of what they're good at, and say, we can build a data center better than anybody else, no matter where we put it. So that's all I had to say. It just was an idea, and I thought, I'll put it in your hands because you speak to more people right on the issue than I'll ever be able to. So,
well, Dennis, obviously, I put up something on my X Machine platform, the Twitter platform, and you can find me at Matt Murphy Show. It's weird. I don't know. I don't know what the X Machine is doing over there. I don't, I'll gain 100 followers and then slowly lose them. I guess because I'm unfiltered and people don't like what I have to say. I don't know. But I put up something earlier today, and it was America Hot Take. This is what I said. It's not Matt Murphy's hot take. It's America's hot take. Let's make data centers illegal. Ban them all. And then I asked the question, what's the worst that could happen? And I put in parentheses comment below. So is the hot take in the United States of America that we need to ban all data centers? And the reason I asked this is because the mayor of Knoxville came out. As soon as I get my computer back up and running, I can show it to you. The mayor of Knoxville, now this is the city mayor, not the county mayor. Obviously, Knox County Mayor Glenn Jacobs is a good friend of the show. But the city mayor, her name is India Kincannon. I don't know this person. But India Kincannon, Knoxville mayor, sent a letter to the Knoxville County Planning Commission, or the Knox County Planning Commission, saying she's introducing an ordinance seeking a one-year moratorium on any large data center in Knoxville. McCannon is pursuing recommendations about guardrails for site selection and operational requirements for data centers within the city. The mayor noted that she, elected officials, and city residents have, quote, concerns about the potential impact of large data centers on immediate neighborhoods and the broader community. McCannon said her upcoming ordinance proposal will give the committee's staff time to consult with Knoxville experts and others to provide a recommendation for the commission and the city council. So it occurs to me that this is the beginning of an overall push nationwide to push all of these data centers out of cities where they are most needed. Obviously, the data centers are needed where computer processing is needed. And I would think that, I don't know, but I would think that it's a bit cost prohibitive to have data centers way out in the countryside. And frankly, maybe people would not notice them as much way out in the countryside. Maybe they would. I don't know. And so my point is, if data centers are so bad, and if we feel like we can live without them, then let's ban them nationwide. Just ban them. What's the worst that could happen? Has anyone thought about this? I don't feel so. I think people just want to decide that the data centers are the bad guys, the data centers are the boogeyman, and move on from it. When in fact, we are the reason that the data centers exist. Business is the reason the data centers exist. Companies that you work for, your laptop computer, your iPhone, all of those things utilize the technologies that require the data centers. If you're using ChatGPT, if you're using OpenAI, if you're using any of these AI platforms, you're the reason that the data centers exist. But if we want to ban them, I'm fine with that too. I'm interested that, and it's curious to me how human nature is, that we have been more attracted to this conversation regarding the data center that was going to be next to the zoo because it's next to the zoo. And we like to pretend that, that's such a wonderful, pristine, just beautiful place. And to me, the zoo has its own set of problems too. 53 after the hour. Tony, you'll be next. 615-737-9986. We continue to monitor the aftermath of the Karmelo Anthony case, and I will share with you the details of the case. If you've not been following it, it's a fairly cut and dry case, as evidenced by the fact that the jury was only out for about less than 3 hours or so. 615-737-9986. It's The Murphy Show. Hey, friends, Matt Murphy for U.S. Pest. I'm inspired now that I got that tick bite that J.K. and Erica and the rest of the team at U.S. Pest, they're coming out to the Murphy compound. I've been meaning to get them out there to give them that full opportunity to give me full comprehensive pest control, not just in the house but on the property. In the house is a no-brainer, right? You can get that control of pests. Termites obviously are a problem in Tennessee, and we need to eliminate that problem by getting U.S. Pest to your home. But secondarily to that, I mean, if you see roaches or any sort of bugs, stink bugs, spiders, all these types of things, or even mice or bigger rodents, they can handle that too at U.S. Pest. Plus, they can offer property protection beyond just your home protection with flea and tick treatments. And now is the time to get it done to eliminate those fleas and those ticks on your property to protect the pets that bring them in from time to time into your home and threaten your family. That's what it's all about. The health of your family, extended to the pets, extended to the yard with U.S. Pest. U.S. Pest. They love the United States of America. They hate bugs. Give them a call at 590-1260. 590-1260. Tell them Matt Murphy sent you to the one and only U.S. Pest.
It's 4 o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Full forecast and traffic coming up in 5 minutes. Police say a desperate call for help led to a dramatic rescue late last night in Nashville. Just before midnight, a neighbor reported hearing screams coming from a home on McKinney Avenue. Channel 4's Steve Mailing says authorities say dogs had been adopted through a rescue organization. This woman was keeping them, and they attacked her.
It was through cries for help that neighbors were able to get on the phone and dial 911. But by the time officers got here, they had no choice but to shoot the dogs. The Metro Department of Health, who oversees the city's animal care and control, says the woman had 6 pit bulls inside her home, 5 of which she adopted, and 1 was a foster. Police say just before midnight, neighbors found the woman being attacked in her home by 5 of the dogs. It took officers around 6 minutes to get there and kill the dogs after being forced to in order to protect themselves and the woman.
That woman's recovering from surgery. Elsewhere in Nashville, Metro Council may vote tonight on an emergency bill that would put a temporary freeze on new data centers. Metro Council member Courtney Johnston filed the emergency bill. It's got to go through a committee meeting before being put on the agenda, and if it makes it on the agenda, it then has to pass 3 readings to go into effect. Meanwhile, Channel 4 says it has learned that Atlanta-based DC Blocks can move ahead with building a center near the zoo without filing any zoning changes because right now Metro allows any building where there are businesses. And a Texas jury says a teenager is guilty of murder over the fatal stabbing of another teen at a rival high school track meet last year. A jury rejected Karmelo Anthony's claims of self-defense during a confrontation with Austin Metcalf after Metcalf told Anthony to leave the tent they were under to get out of the rain because it was reserved for Metcalf's team. ABC News legal contributor Brian Buckmeyer says the jury deliberated for under 3 hours.
It's clear that the prosecution's closing argument getting the last word, saying that swift justice needed to be met and that this was not self-defense. The idea of bringing a knife to a fist fight, the proportionality of the self-defense is too high. If someone attacks you with their fists, you're supposed to respond with your fists. If someone attacks you with deadly force, like a knife or a gun, you can do that, but you can't escalate it. And so what this verdict tells me is that the jury did not buy the self-defense claim. They thought that Karmelo Anthony escalated this too high and that he's guilty of murder.
Now, President Trump says in a social media post today, Iran is responsible for shooting down the Apache Army helicopter near the Strait of Hormuz last night. The president also says the U.S., quote, must out of necessity respond to this attack. We get more from ABC's Luis Martinez, who says an Iranian drone may have been involved in the crash.
Maybe potentially what was happening here is that there was a nighttime collision, because if this is one of the types of drones that is used in attacking commercial ships, that is not a drone that fires weapons, but a drone that is an impact drone, a one-way attack drone. So potentially what we're talking about here is some kind of a collision, and this gets to the whole intent. Was Iran strategic? Were they intentionally targeting this helicopter, or was it just a situation of a bad location at the wrong time?
Yeah, the 2 service members on board the helicopter were able to be rescued by the U.S. U.S. officials say they were rescued by a drone boat. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. All right, drivers north of I-40, you're going to be contending with some severe thunderstorms. We got a severe thunderstorm warning right now for Davidson County, Cheatham County, Robertson County until 4:45. Storms located along a line extending from 10 miles west of Springfield to near Coopertown to near Ashland City, moving east at 25 miles per hour. Could see 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and penny-size hail. Elsewhere, we've got crashes. 40 eastbound right before Hermitage Avenue on the south side. Hermitage, this is an injury crash. Old Hickory Boulevard north of I-40. Glencliff got a stalled vehicle on the left shoulder. 40 westbound before Spence Lane. Rivergate, a crash. 65 southbound before Vietnam Veterans Boulevard. I'm Ken Weaver.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Ken Weaver just mentioned there's a nasty-looking thunderstorm just to the north of Nashville proper, just to the north of where we broadcast from the butt end of Music Row. So be alert on that front. If you're up in White House, Gallatin, Springfield, Ashland City, Clarksville, and the like, you're getting pummeled with a bunch of rain. No word on any of this being outside of the parameters of just being a bad thunderstorm. But we'll keep you up to date with that. I know Ken's working on that in the newsroom. Obviously, we're covering it for you in the studio.
I'm watching it like a hawk.
Like a hawk.
Like a woodpecker.
Indeed.
I got to watch out for them Ken Weavers with bricks.
No doubt. If Weaver could treat this thunderstorm like a woodpecker, it wouldn't be around very much.
Hail the size of bricks.
Oh, man. So we're, you know what, I suppose we need the rain. I mean, I think they need the rain up on the Kentucky-Tennessee line. It's my understanding they have not had as much as we've had in Middle Tennessee. One way or the other, unto each life some rain must fall. And it is falling this afternoon. We'll keep you up to date on that. 8 minutes after the hour, Super Talk 99.7 WTN, a robust first hour of the show, if I do say so myself, 615-737-9986. Talking zoos, talking data centers, talking Karmelo Anthony. We'll get back to your calls momentarily, but I do, as promised, want to go over some of the details on this case. For those who have not been following it as closely as others, there was so the case started at Memorial High School at David Kuykendall or Kuykendall, and I don't know if I'm mispronouncing that. Kuyk Kuykendall or Kuykendall Stadium. This was at a track meet at Memorial High School on April 2nd, 2025. At this track meet, Austin Metcalf, a 17-year-old student at Memorial High School, was fatally stabbed by Karmelo Anthony, a Centennial High School student of the same age, while attending the meet. It was in Frisco, Texas. Young Metcalf died of his injuries at the scene. Anthony eventually surrendered himself to authorities after the stabbing and was charged with murder. Anthony pled not guilty, alleging self-defense. Here are the facts of the case. As I mentioned, the stabbing occurred on April 2nd. It was at approximately 10 a.m. The altercation started as the track and field championship event was delayed by thunderstorms and heavy downpours. Hunter Metcalf, who is Austin's twin brother, told Anthony, Karmelo Anthony, for some reason, moved under their tent, the team tent, and he was not supposed to be there. Obviously, it's their tent. he could move on to another location, could move on to back to where his team was, or any other number of locations where he could escape from the rain, but he decided not to do so. Anthony was underneath their tent, and he was asked/told to leave multiple times. According to court testimony, as many as 15 separate times, he was asked and or told that he needed to leave their team tent, and he refused to do so. After refusing to do so on multiple occasions, Metcalf approached Anthony, to which Anthony said, allegedly, "Touch me and see what happens." At the same time, he had his backpack near him, and he reached his hand inside of the backpack, according to witness testimony. Metcalf then pushed Anthony onto the bleachers that they were on, and in response, he allegedly said, "Punch me and we'll see what happens." Metcalf attempted to push Anthony out of the tent area, at which time Anthony pulled a knife from his backpack and stabbed Metcalf once in the chest, in the heart, before running away. A witness to the incident in the Frisco arrest report said Austin and Anthony went back and forth. Austin stood up and told Anthony to get out of the tent, at which time he was stabbed. Metcalf ran down the bleachers. He grabbed his chest, told those around him to get help. Police arrived. He was not conscious or breathing. Athletic trainers performed chest compressions on him. Austin Metcalf was pronounced dead minutes after arriving at the hospital. During the trial, the jury was seated. There were several people of color on the jury, including alternates. It was composed of 11 women and 7 men. One of the seated jurors was an educator but did not work in a traditional school environment. There were no black jurors seated, but once again, several were people of color. Of course, these facts are only convenient to those that want to cause trouble and want to agitate and suggest that a white person in 2026 cannot adequately act as a jury of one's peers if you are a black individual that's been accused of something. That mere suggestion in and of itself is racist on its face, and it's gross. It's disgusting. And I don't tolerate it for a moment. We are not going to allow the sins of America's past, our distant past in many cases, to overwhelm us in our present. We do not have a perfect judicial system. That is obvious. But it's the best damn thing going. And any suggestion that a white person, or a black person for that matter, cannot sit in judgment against a defendant of a different race or ethnic background than themselves is absurd. Is the argument being made by some of the agitators in McKinney, Texas today that because there was not specifically a black person on the jury, that Karmelo Anthony did not receive a fair trial? Is that what we're saying? Is that what anyone's saying? So you're suggesting that merely based on the color of one's skin, you can predetermine or prejudge their disposition regarding people of a different skin color? That is the definition of bigotry. That is the definition of bigotry. And I just think it's disgusting that I hear commentary, oh, well, this is going to be appealed because there were no black people on the jury. So the suggestion is that you have to have black people on the jury in order to get a fair trial for a black person? I'd like to talk about that if that's the suggestion. I'd like to explore that conversation because I don't understand that at all. That sounds like we're trying to segregate juries to me. Opening statements happened about 5 days ago. Collin County District Attorney stated the killing was provoked, unjustified, and murder. Anthony provoked Metcalf to touch him, and Metcalf pushed and shoved before Anthony stabbed him in an attack using a concealed knife. The prosecutor in the case then stated that it does not concern race and it does not concern self-defense. The defense attorney, Michael Howard, stated that there were a variety of accounts as to what occurred before the stabbing and that Anthony was seated when confronted by Metcalf. He stated that it was Metcalf who made first contact and Anthony reacted, quote, in a split second of fear and chaos. Howard then argued that Anthony was defending himself. Jurors were shown grainy surveillance footage of the incident. Prosecutors say that it showed Metcalf pushing Anthony and Anthony exiting after stabbing Metcalf. A coach from Memorial High School testified that it is unconventional for any rival teammate to be seated under another school's tent, as was Anthony before Metcalf confronted him. Jurors also heard testimony from a coach from Liberty High School who viewed the aftermath of the stabbing, as well as heard 911 emergency calls following the stabbing. The defense asked the Liberty High School coach if it was normal for students from different schools to converse and asked where athletes warming up would seek shelter. The defense started their case on the afternoon of June 5th. After the prosecution rested, the defense called Anthony's coach, who testified that it was not unusual for athletes from different schools to share tents. A Frisco Memorial student gave a different account of the confrontation, saying Metcalf grabbed Anthony prior to the stabbing. Though under cross-examination, he then stated Anthony had provoked him. Police officer testified that carrying a 5-inch knife is not unlawful in Texas, although it is against school policy. That's the basic case. The issue was escalated to the point that one individual had a knife, brought the knife to the fight, and it resulted in the death of another individual. Anthony did not choose to testify on his own behalf. In the meantime, you got this going on. Little audio video here as some of the aftermath of the shooting is or rather the stabbing and the verdict is unfolding outside of the courthouse. Here is an onlooker who is very frustrated with the idea of what to tell her children after Karmelo Anthony was found guilty.
What do you want us to do? That's right. What do you want us to do at this point? What? I'm lost for words. I don't know what to do. I got 5 boys. I don't know what. I ain't got nothing to tell them no more. You can't walk away no more.
Rest in peace, Trayvon Martin.
Let me ask you this right now.
Okay, so she's got 5 boys and she doesn't know what to tell them. I would recommend that you tell your 5 boys not to stab anyone. I would also recommend that if you look at the testimony presented in the case, that everyone is in agreement that Karmelo Anthony was asked and then told multiple times to leave the opposing team's tent, and he refused to do so and got belligerent as a result and demanded that they do something about it and demanded that you touch me and you'll find out, that sort of thing. In the meantime, Matt's in Shelbyville with a thought on this case. Hello, Matt. How are you?
Hey, Matt. How you doing?
Doing well, thank you.
I'm going to say a couple of things, and you might agree and you might not. But when you said that there were 15 people told him to leave,
I didn't say that. I said he was told as many as 15 times.
15 times?
Yeah.
15 times by whom?
By the students underneath the tent.
Okay, so here we go. That's not their job to police. It is a law enforcement, and they have school SROs there. So they could have said, we're going to go get the SRO and handle it. But you didn't. They were out of their lane. They didn't stay in their lane. So if I was there and I'm seeing surrounded by people telling me and mouthing off, and especially in Texas, right? When are you going to say, well, you know what? What happens if one of them moves on me? What happens when they're getting behind me? And then he says, well, if you touch me, you're going to find out. That means he's standing his ground. And we already had
standing his ground in a place that he was not supposed to be.
No. He is supposed to be.
No, ma'am. No, sir.
He is at a track meet.
Right.
Right?
Underneath the other team's tent.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, but you have your school authorities.
Okay.
Your paid professionals to tell them to leave, not you.
Let me ask you a question. Was he supposed to have a knife?
Okay. Let me.
It says it's a simple yes or no question, Matt, and I'll let you continue. Was he supposed to have a knife?
Depending on where you live, sir.
Was he supposed to have a knife on school property, Matt? Yes or no?
I would say no.
Okay, very good.
I would say no.
All right.
I would say no. I will say this, that lived in South L.A. for 3 years, you're going to have one and you're going to break every law because you got to make sure you go home at night.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know about tech. I don't know about that specific.
Well, Texas law does not prevent you from having a 5-inch blade, but school policy does. You were not supposed to have it on school property. So let me. I'm going to concede for the sake of this conversation, Matt. I'll concede everything that you just said.
Okay.
That it was not the student's responsibility to tell this young man to leave their tent, their high school tent. That they should have done other things or whatever. Does any of that justify him stabbing a kid in the heart?
It depends on fear, sir. It depends on fear. If you're going to tell one person, I had fear of this person and they're acting, if this person had fear, now you're saying, no, you didn't? No, it has to go both ways. And I am sick and tired of things not going equally in this country.
How do you figure?
It doesn't. How do I figure?
Yeah.
Let me put it into this way. Remember the Vanderbilt football players that got in trouble with the videotaping of the girl and got 25 years and are sitting up there in the prison over there, the state prison over there in Nashville? Remember that case?
I do not. I mean, I'm being honest. I don't know the case you're talking about.
Well, they got convicted, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. Of course, they were people of color, but that's here nor there. These same situations have happened in 2 different states, and the judge let them off because they were so young, they didn't want to ruin their lives. This is, and you know what? When you have this, and you have the Trayvon Martin case, and you have all of these cases that you have no clue about because you're not have privy to in other states, it's just unsettling. It's unsettling.
What? All right. So, I mean, I understand that you want to bring in a lot of different circumstances surrounding different cases to attempt to justify what you're saying, but it doesn't change the fact that one individual pulled out a knife and stabbed another individual in the chest, an unarmed person in the chest.
Trayvon Martin was unarmed and got shot by an adult.
Are we talking about Trayvon Martin?
No, but we are talking.
No. We're talking about Karmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf, who is dead. Austin Metcalf is dead, Matt.
And
do you have any compassion for the fact that a young man is dead as a result of the actions of Karmelo Anthony?
And that is the problem, sir, because dead men can't talk.
If Karmelo Anthony was so fearful for his life, why did he not leave the tent?
Because, Matt, you and I have been brought up on a certain side of the track that other people are not. So while I can say that I would have left, you would have left, but there are other people that are not from that camp, and they're going to say, move me. Who are you? Who are you to tell me what to do?
Right, and your suggestion is in order to find that Karmelo Anthony is not guilty of the charges against him, then you have to convince me simultaneously. Hold on, Matt. Simultaneously, what you're trying to convince me, and I'm listening to you. You're saying that he simultaneously was in fear for his life and refused to move because how dare they say that he should move? that he was thinking those things simultaneously?
I think that it's in stages. One, you can mouth off with somebody. Two, now you're in a verbal confrontation of one person trying to exercise authority that they don't have, and you are going to stand in your stance. But now, you remember, it's not his tent, right? It's not his tent. So now this person's friends are not only coming to this man's aid, and then probably surrounding him. I wasn't there. I don't have any video.
Yeah, and the witnesses that were there testified to the jury that determined that Karmelo Anthony was guilty.
Again, if this man does not come up to Karmelo Anthony, this man is still living.
Brother, he's in his space.
Okay.
Excuse me, where? So you're suggesting under in the way that you're thinking, Matt, you're saying that because Karmelo Anthony decided to go to a place that he did not belong, underneath a tent that was not his high school, that the kid that was there as a representative of that high school should have stayed away from his own tent because Karmelo Anthony wanted to take it over. Is that what you're saying?
He didn't want to take it over. Didn't you say there was rain? He's getting out the rain.
There's plenty of places to get out of the rain.
Okay, but what I'm saying,
including his own high school. He was there with his own high school, Centennial High School. Matt,
you have people that are in charge to handle this particular event, and that kid chose to inject himself into this situation.
Wait. What kid are you mean the kid that was where he was supposed to be? The kid that got killed? So you're blaming the kid that got killed because he didn't back off and kowtow to the kid that was somewhere that he wasn't supposed to be.
Again, Matt. Like I said, sometimes
Matt. Matt, let's just talk, man. We're at an event, and I have and you're with one organization, and I'm with another organization. Forget what it doesn't matter what the event is. We're at a function. We're at a symposium. We're at an event. And I have a tent, and you have a tent. Okay. And you're over at my tent, and I'm like, hey, man, go on to your own tent. What are you doing over here? You're going to bow up at me and say, you don't tell me what to do, I'll stay here if I want to, and I'm the one that's supposed to leave?
Honestly, no. That's not what I want. But if you come up to me and say, hey, this is for, our students, you're going to have to hop over to the next spot. I'm like, okay, let it stop raining for a minute, then I'll bounce out.
That's not what he said. That's not what the testimony, that's not what people testify. The people that were there testified in trial. Read the transcripts.
I understand that.
Are they all lying about it?
Is it out of the norm that they would or wouldn't? Is it possible that they did or didn't? That's not the issue. The issue, again, we're trying to figure out how we got to this point. We got to this point because there was not enough adequate security for them to do their job, and you let a 17-year-old boy to do their job, and obviously that kid had a lot of built-up tension and anger that manifested all in 2 minutes to where he felt threatened and he had to pull out a knife.
Well, we don't know what he felt, Matt, because he decided not to testify in his own defense, which is his right. But you're going to be hard pressed. You're going to be hard pressed to offer me a self-defense case when you do not tell a jury what you were thinking or feeling at the time that you committed an act of murder. Now, it's murder one way or the other, but whether it was justified homicide is the question.
That is something that young man is going to have to live with. But I will tell you this.
Well, you know what? It would be nice if Austin Metcalf got a chance to live with the trauma of this event too, but he can't because he's dead.
Well, that is true. But now we have to learn that you just can't walk up to anybody and tell people, anything that you want to tell them. It is how you say, what you say.
Wait. Your takeaway is that we should learn that you need to be nicer to the guy that might stab you? That's your takeaway?
I'm saying that people have a way of trying to treat people to try to the social graces in this country now, especially in this time, are eroding. People think that they can talk to people however they want and expect somebody just to sit there and say, okay. No, it's not that way anymore.
Okay.
You know, if I talk a certain way to you, which is aggressive by nature and disrespectful, I'm going to say, yo, say that one more time. Say, you're not going to sit here and disrespect me. And now I've seen people disrespect people in front of their wives. And he said, man, it took me an act of God for me not to slam him into the store. And this is what we're going. People look online. People are provoking with cameras to walk up to strangers, trying to get a reaction.
Yeah, I saw it last night outside of Madison Square Garden. Some young people got the crap beat out of them for wearing Spurs jerseys. You see that?
Yes, and we are getting.
And they deserved it, right? They deserved it because they were, they weren't where they were supposed to be, man.
Hey,
come on, Matt. I got to run. Look, it's been we've had a good conversation. I've appreciated the conversation, but I'm way late. I've literally skipped a break, and Jackson is going to freak out on me. It is he. Well, I almost made a joke. I won't make that joke. It's 31 after the hour on Super Talk. Founded in 2005, I am so proud that we have found a cabinet company right here in Middle Tennessee, producing and specializing in high-quality kitchen and bathroom cabinetry since that time. They just became drinking age, right? They're 21 years old in 2026, and their core mission remains the same as it started with, delivering high-quality cabinet products at affordable prices, and man, you can save. We have the advantage of being right here local in the community, so we can design. Home builders do this, remodelers do this, dealers across the United States, and you can do it yourself. The beauty and the functionality of this cabinetry is incredible. You have to see it for yourself to understand it. It's in Columbia and Franklin. They have showrooms in both of those locations, and I invite you to stop by either one of those locations. Same wonderful staff. Now, I would I'm a little partial to Columbia because that's where I toured the facility. That's where the cabinet factory is. And I want you to give them a call. Call Deb today and tell her that Matt Murphy sent you to Timberland Cabinets. The kitchen is the heartbeat of your home, and you need to make sure that heartbeat is beautiful, it is a quality, and it is functional, and you do that with Timberland Cabinets. Go to TimberlandCabinets.com. That's TimberlandCabinets.com or 931-499-7170. 931-499-7170 for Timberland Cabinets.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Right now, parts of Davidson, Cheatham, and Robertson County are under severe thunderstorm warnings until 5:15. You can expect some very heavy rain, a 60-mile-per-hour wind gust, maybe even some hail with it. All of this activity is north of 40. It is moving to the east. Now, we do have crashes we're contending with right now. 40 eastbound before Hermitage Avenue, 65 northbound before Wedgwood Avenue, over by the airport, Briley Parkway northbound south of Glastonbury Road, and Talbot's Corner, a crash, right lane block, 65 southbound past Trinity Lane. A 47-year-old Nashville woman is in the hospital after 5 dogs, pit bulls, that she was fostering attacked her inside her McKinney Avenue home late last night. A neighbor called 911 just before midnight after hearing her screams. Police from the East Precinct forced entry into the home where they say they found the woman covered in blood on the kitchen floor with the dogs on and around her. Officers shot the dogs, then administered emergency aid before the woman was rushed to Skyline Medical Center with serious injuries. Here's Channel 4's Joylyn Bukovac.
Right now, police are still working to determine exactly what led up to that attack. No officers were injured as they were trying to save that woman. And right now, there is an investigation into the use of deadly force that is standard in a situation like this one.
Now, right now in Nashville, data center pushback. Channel 4 says Metro Council member Courtney Johnston has filed an emergency bill to temporarily pause any new data centers. If it makes it out of a committee hearing tonight, it'll go on the agenda where it will need to pass 3 more meetings before it happens. Meanwhile, Channel 4 says it has learned there is nothing in Metro Code that stops Atlanta-based DC Blocks from building a data center near the zoo. Getting some breaking news now from the Associated Press, which says the U.S. military says it is launching strikes against Iran. This after President Trump vowed a response to the downing of an American Apache helicopter last night. 2 crew members on board that helicopter successfully rescued by a drone boat. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. All right, drivers, severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 5:15 for parts of Davidson, Rutherford County, southern Sumner County, northeastern Williamson County, Wilson County, and southeastern Robertson County. Severe thunderstorms located along a line extending from near Millersville to near Forest Hills, moving east. 30 miles per hour, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, and you could see some penny-size hail. Just adding to the traffic problems out there this afternoon. Right now in the Belmont area, we've got a crash blocking the right lane, 65 northbound before Wedgwood. BNA, Briley Parkway northbound, just south of Glastonbury. 65 southbound past Trinity Lane. And then in Murfreesboro, we got a crash, off-ramp partially blocked, 24 eastbound to Medical Center Parkway. And then Nolensville Pike, north of Haywood Lane. I'm Ken Weaver.
Hello, friends. Matt Murphy here for Eurofix. For 25 plus years, Aaron Stokes made it his mission, his goal at Eurofix to treat you like family and to make sure that you're getting quality auto repairs at below dealer pricing, which is just what he did. And for 25 years, he grew his company by leaps and bounds, not because of anything other than treating you the right way, getting you lower prices, getting you, never ghosting you when it comes to a callback, making sure that you don't have to pay dealer prices, and treating you well with regard to the repairs that they perform. Rock solid 3-year, 36,000-mile nationwide warranty on all the repairs they perform. Not getting ghosted, as I mentioned, fixing everything European, a rental car available at every appointment. They do this because they believe in that type of treatment. They treat their family that way, and they're going to treat you that way as well. 844-EUROFIX. That's 844-EUROFIX, or online at myeurofix.com. Myeurofix.com. Locations in Nashville, Franklin, Belmead, Murfreesboro, and Mount Juliet. Stop by today at Eurofix. All right, we're going to get back to conversation regarding the verdict in the Karmelo Anthony trial. That is on the way with Jeff and D'Angelo and Mike. Hang in there. We'll get to you momentarily. 43 minutes after the hour. Right now, I want to go to the Murphy Show hotline where David Corlew is. David Corlew, of course, is with the Charlie Daniels Journey Home Project. And David, first and foremost, it was so good to see you the other day, have a little bit of coffee and catch up. I hope everything is well with you and the family.
Everything's good, Matt. Thank you for having me on. Tell Ken if he needs a mobile weather report from Mount Juliet. It's dumping out here. So.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey,
I'm starting to pull lumber into the house for build me an ark.
Yeah, I was about to say you better get Coop a companion animal so you can get them 2x2 in the house there.
Well, I've got 6 other dogs, so
yeah.
I've got plenty. I just need a little rowboat, so they'll all fit in it.
I like it. Well, listen, I've seen the photos of your new boy, right? Coop is a boy?
Yeah, Cooper's a boy.
All right.
He's a male. He's the great thing about Cooper is that we found out it was really a blessing was that Cooper comes from a different line of border collies. Completely different breeder, the whole deal. And when I got Cooper's papers, I realized that him and Tuffy had the same grandpa.
Well, he looks just like Tuffy. I mean, I know you could tell the difference, but from afar, I'm like, well, good gracious. It's like it. So they had the same granddad. That's kind of cool. That's cool. That's good. That's good for you.
Well, you've had a busy day today.
Well, it's crazy today, but never too crazy to talk with you about the Charlie Daniels Journey Home Project. And I'm so happy with the conversation that we were having over coffee regarding something that you're engaged in. And obviously, your mission never changes. You want to help the veterans in any way possible that you can, but you've expanded the mission a little bit. And I want you to tell everybody about what you're doing, partnering with the Wilson County Sheriff's Department.
Well, what we did, Matt, is that we actually were approached with a partner foundation, well, not really a partner foundation, a new foundation, but it's called Shield 616, established by a former law enforcement gentleman from Colorado Springs. He was involved in an active shooter situation in Colorado Springs in, I think, 2007 at a Planned Parenthood facility, and they lost 2 officers, and many others were injured because of the quality or the level of protection they had with their vest, their Kevlar vest, and they were only handgun approved. And so with that, the active shooters, AK-47s, they lost 2 officers, many injured, and so he started this project and working with law enforcement, Las Vegas, Colorado Springs, of course, his home, Fort Worth, and he approached me about Nashville, and I love Nashville. I grew up here. I'm a native, but I told him I was more concerned about my community, and now we've approached Wilson County Sheriff's Department, and they, a big part of them were still, wearing the level 1 vest, and so we decided to partner with Shield 616, and we were able to outfit the whole 52-member patrol force of the Wilson County Sheriff's Department with level 4 protective armor.
My goodness gracious! So you've already been able to outfit the Wilson County Sheriff's Department, but it's as we were talking about the other day, you're taking a next step to make sure that the SROs are outfitted as well, correct?
Yeah, correct. What we had to do. I think there's a total of 122 officers, maybe even more, with the Wilson County Sheriff's Department, which oversees Lebanon and Mount Juliet, as well as a lot of other small communities. But we were able to. We took the biggest first, and that was the patrol units, and those were 52. And so now what we've come up with is that we feel like the SROs are constantly in a potential dangerous position there with the schools and what's went on in the past years with the shootings at the schools. And so we're hoping this whole program is designed for us to. I call it a Jesus thing. We want to feed, we want to provide fish, but we want to also teach people to fish. And so we feel like Journey Home Project Shield 616 is we helped get this program started. Now we're hoping the community will embrace the program and help us get the SRO, the officers in our schools, outfitted. So that's the next phase of this, and we're hoping that Wilson County, as well as anyone that feels like they want to help and support the law enforcement community, to help us purchase another, I think, 20-something vests for our SOR.
And these vests are incredible. I mean, as you were describing them to me the other day, that and they're so necessary. It feels. I mean, this just seems to go hand in hand with the mission that you've engaged in for so long with our veterans. We don't want veterans to come back with some of these issues. We don't want veterans to be at a loss for which way to turn, but we need to be there for them when they do need help. Similarly, I don't want any of these SROs to ever need a vest. But the fact of the matter is, it's a dangerous world, brother, and we need to make sure that they're protected if the time comes that they need to lay it down to protect our kids.
100%, and if we can save one life, we could save one officer. No matter how many vests that we end up trying to purchase, if we can save one life, it's going to be well worth it. And again, with the way the world is today, and you deal with it every day, not only from the danger aspect of it, but from the all that a school board or all that law enforcement agencies have to go through to get budgets approved, to get things done. It's the same way with our veteran community. The VA is overrun. There's nothing we can do about the VA, so it's up to folks like you and the station and Journey Home Project and all the other foundations to step up and fill in the gap where these men and women that standing at the wall for us, that we've got to do something to try to help them and keep moving forward and keep our community safe.
I love the concept. I love the mission to expand the reach of the Charlie Daniels Journey Home Project, to partner with an organization like Shield 616. And it feels like, and you correct me if I'm wrong, that Wilson County could just be the beginning. Obviously, you're starting kind of at home base, Charlie's home base, your home base in Wilson County, but it feels like this could expand to many different other communities in Middle Tennessee. Am I correct?
Yeah, you're dead on. We're just we've already had calls, talked to some of the officers at Wilson County, and they're already getting calls from surrounding counties. And so what our plan is to make sure our community is safe and secure, and then whatever Journey Home Project can provide and do with the resources that we have, we're hoping that along with what we offer and the community support, and that's the key word. We need the community to help us, and so we're hoping that the Wilson County School Board will jump on this, and whether it's bake sales, whether it's concession sales at football or basketball games, that the schools will and the parents will all get in this with us and join forces so that we can continue to do the work that we do. What is the best way for those listening to find out more, find out how they can help? Is it a visit to the journeyhomeproject.org? Is that the easiest way to get in contact? Yeah, the Charlie Daniels journeyhomeproject.org. If for some reason you're not writing it down or hearing me, all you have to do is look up Charlie Daniels Foundation, and the journeyhomeproject.org will come up, and you can send us an email, and you can make a donation at the site, and then you can earmark it. You can say, we want this for our school in Wilson County, our sheriff's department. You can say you have if it's a veteran that needs mental wellness help, if you have a family member that has suffered with any kind of injury, just let us know. That's what we're here for. We're a flow-through organization. We raise money, and when someone donates money to me, I like to sit down with them and ask them, how has the military affected you? How has first responders come into your life? Here is a menu, and we want to direct that money. That's what we think we specialize and do well at, is direct the money in the direction you want it to go.
Y'all are the best. David, it's such an honor to be in association with your organization, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I talk to you about it all the time, that this is the reason we're here on radio, is to assist our veterans, and now by extension we're trying to help our first responders, SROs, and the like, and I'm just so proud of everything that your organization represents. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Matt. We can't do it without you guys. We appreciate it. And Ken, I hope you continue to heal.
Thank you, Brother David. I appreciate it.
Yeah, there we go. David, rub on that coop for us and bring him next time you come over, okay?
I will do that.
Love on him.
Forward to it.
All right, brother. There's David Corlew. Go to thejourneyhomeproject.org, or as he said, just type in Charlie Daniels Foundation. You'll go right to the organization. 54 after the hour. Back to the content on Karmelo Anthony and the aftermath of that, plus your calls right after this. You know, summertime is here. The heat of summer has gotten people feeling kind of low down, and maybe you're just feeling off. Maybe you've had a tick bite and you don't know what to do with it. Maybe you got ringing in your ears, you don't know what to do with it. Well, one way or the other, if you're looking for a healthcare alternative to the same old, affordable, convenient, comprehensive medicine that truly treats the whole body, that gets to the bottom of the issue, that comprehensive medical approach that gets to the root of the problem as opposed to just treating symptoms, my friends, Grace Point Healthcare is right in our backyard. Located in Franklin, convenient to anywhere within the sound of my voice. Why? Because they're a direct pay medical care provider. What does that mean? That means nobody gets in the way between you and your doctor. Nobody decides for your doctor how to treat you. The doctor and you decide all of those things. Insurance comes later, which is the way that it ought to be, right? And with the Smart Care plan, you can pay out of your HSA monthly, and you have unlimited office visits throughout the year. Unlimited office visits throughout the year, plus free basic labs and diagnostics at Grace Point Healthcare. 599-6868 is the number. 599-6868. Grace Point Healthcare. They are modern medicine delivered the old-fashioned way.
5 o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. We got severe thunderstorm warnings, folks, in effect until 5:15 for Davidson, northwestern Rutherford, southwestern Sumner, northeastern Williamson, and western Wilson counties. Very heavy rain in this. There's also some thunder and lightning. Severe thunderstorms located along a line extending from near Lebanon to near Antioch to near Forest Hills, moving southeast at 30 miles per hour. You could see 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and penny-size hail. And just imagine what it's doing to traffic. Full forecast and traffic coming up in 5 minutes.
This is a special report from ABC News. I'm Wayne Cabot. The U.S. now launching strikes against Iran. U.S. Central Command saying that American forces began the strikes against Iran at 5 p.m. Eastern at the Commander-in-Chief's direction. CENTCOM says the attacks are a proportional response to unjustified Iranian aggression. President Trump accusing Iran of shooting down a U.S. Army Apache helicopter near the Strait of Hormuz this morning. The president saying he will respond to the attack, and that's what's happening now. Service members on the helicopter were rescued by a drone, says ABC's Louis Martinez.
All of this happened during nighttime. In the middle of the night, around 4 in the morning local time, as this helicopter, normally accompanied by another helicopter, would have been operating together. And then we know now that this boat drone was able to pluck them out of the water.
Iran says the best way for foreign forces near the strait to reduce the risk is for them to leave. This is ABC News.
Back here in Middle Tennessee, a Nashville woman is recovering after a terrifying dog attack inside her home. Happened just before midnight on McKinney Avenue in East Nashville, where a neighbor called 911 after hearing her screams.
According to Metro Police, officers arrived shortly after midnight and could hear a woman in distress inside of that house. Investigators say officers forced their way inside and then found 5 dogs attacking that woman. Police say the officers shot and killed all of those dogs in order to stop the attack. The woman was rushed to the hospital with serious injuries. At this point, investigators have not released an update on her condition or who those dogs belong to.
Investigators say those dogs were obtained from a rescue group, and reports say they were pit bulls. Right now in Nashville, Metro Council members could vote tonight on an emergency bill that temporarily pauses new data centers. Courtney Johnston filed it. It has to make it out of committee to get on the agenda. Then after that, it's going to take at least 3 readings to go into effect. Meanwhile, Channel 4 says there's nothing in the Metro Code that stops a data center from being built near the zoo. And the Tennessee Democratic Party dismissing its legal challenge to the state's newly redrawn congressional districts. The party says the case was centered on getting quick relief ahead of the 2026 cycle, which didn't happen. With that timeline missed, leaders say their efforts will now turn to winning elections. Other lawsuits from groups like the NAACP and ACLU are still moving forward. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. That is a pounding rain out there over Nashville, and it is having an impact on traffic. We've got severe thunderstorm warnings in effect until 5:15 for parts of Davidson, Rutherford, Sumner, Williamson, and Wilson counties. As a result, we've got a crash right now in Montgomery County that has closed 24 westbound between Clarksville, Trenton, Tennessee 48 exit 1 and the Kentucky state line. West Loop a wreck, 40 eastbound at 65. Murfreesboro a crash, right shoulder block, 24 eastbound at Medical Center Parkway. Nolensville Pike north of Haywood Lane. And then 65 southbound as you're approaching Gallatin Cross Plains there in Robertson County. And in Williamson County, got a crash 840 westbound near Horton Highway. I'm Ken Weaver.
Halfway home, Matt Murphy Show, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. It's 8 minutes after 5 o'clock. For those of you just getting off work, perhaps in your automobiles, pulling out of the parking garage or wherever you might be, it is, if you're in the middle of Nashville, it's coming down, baby. It is coming down, and the nasty weather is expected to stick around in the sound of our voice, at least for the northern portion of our listening area, for the next minute or two, if you will. Ken Weaver's been telling you about it. We've been talking about it in the Weather Center as well, that a big old thunderstorm is moving through the area. It's right in the middle of Nashville right now. I guess just to the east of Nashville is the worst of it. It's headed toward Lebanon, Mount Juliet, along a corridor of I-40.
Brentwood's about to get hammered.
Brentwood's about to get popped too.
Laverne and Smyrna, they're going to get hammered.
Yeah, so y'all just be careful out there. If you got to be somewhere, it'll be there when you get there, y'all.
What are they drinking?
Right. What are they drinking? What do you mean?
Ken said they were going to get hammered.
Well, I mean, they're probably going to need to Uber home later on because they're in a watering hole somewhere, slinging them back while they're waiting out the rain. I had a colleague one time that advertised for a local watering spot, and they had to be told to stop encouraging people to stop off while they were driving home and have a couple pops. I was like, y'all, we can't be doing that. So we're not encouraging that, but if you do that, just go ahead and Uber on home, or Waymo. I mean,
yeah, you might be able to Waymo.
Although, Jackson's shaking his head. You thinking flash flooding, Jackson?
No, I think those cars are way too small and don't have four-wheel drive.
Yeah, the Waymos don't seem to know what to do when the water comes up.
You know what? That's an interesting question. What would they do?
Well, no, in Atlanta, Ken, I think you were out last week when this story came down.
They were driving into floodwater?
They did not they were driving into, they didn't know what to do. Flash flooding happened in Atlanta in the ATL, and they're like, oh, and they were kind of driving into it or not driving into it, as the case may be. And
wow.
Yeah, it was, it's just one of those little glitches they got to figure out, I suppose.
Yeah,
be a big glitch if they drive into the water.
They better figure that out today.
Yeah. I mean, I would imagine that there is some sort of plan of action for Waymo right now that they might shut it on down. Hey, the National Weather Service. Hey, look, I've got Alerta de Emergencia, El Servicio Meteorologico. Oh, no. Oh, here we go.
Did you say Cerveza?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm looking at the Espanol. El Servicio Meteorologico Nacional Emito. I can't really pronounce.
Servicio. Service.
Yeah, service. The National Weather Service. The National Weather Service has issued a flash flood warning.
Yeah, for Williamson County, Franklin to be precise.
I'm looking at one in Davidson now.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't be
5:07 in the
surprised if
afternoon.
the entire area goes under a flash flood warning, because I'm telling you, boys, this thing is dumping it.
Yeah, it's putting some rain down. So y'all be careful. Once again, it'll be there when you get there. Jeff is next up on the Matt Murphy Show to talk about the Karmelo Anthony case. Hello, Jeff.
Hey, man, how you doing? Can you hear me?
Hey, I'm here, Jeff. Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, I'm glad we had that break in between the last caller and now, because I'm happy with the guilty verdict. Because what pops in my mind the whole time I've been hearing this case is all the people, well, not all the people, but the cases where in Boston you have a guy who gets out, then turns and kills somebody, and then there's many stories like that. But what I think this kid, the Karmelo Anthony, I think if he left his house with a knife in his backpack and then he went over to the other side, he was looking for trouble. I mean, I don't see no way around it, because rain, unless he's made out of sugar, why can't he just walk to another place?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's perfectly reasonable to suggest that, I mean, even if I give the young man the benefit of the doubt, which I don't know that I'm going to do in the aftermath of what we now understand happened, but even if I were to, and he was trying to seek shelter from a rain shower or whatnot, when the individuals that were in charge of the tent told him that he needed to move on, you move on.
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's anything. If I walk out here and I just put my nose in somebody else's conversation, if they're gagging around, and if they don't want me there, I think that's justification for them to ask me to leave. You know?
Yeah.
It's just people's personal space. And if he was asked 15 times to leave, I see a kid puffing up his chest. He probably got his feelings hurt. And I would suspect, I don't know, I haven't heard it, if what his character like is in like school or his social media, if he goes around ranting and, doing the gangster thing around there, I would suspect that his character reflects exactly at school, social media, exactly what happened under that tent when they asked him to leave, and he said, make me leave. He's entitled. He felt that he could be there and nobody could tell him what to do. And I think that's a big problem with a lot of other kids around that age nowadays.
Well, and as we've said on several occasions, he obviously had a knife on school property. He was not supposed to have a knife on school property. Regardless of the circumstances leading up to the event, he escalated in such a way where he was the only one armed, and he decided to pull out a knife. He decided to strike an individual in the chest with that knife. He had been asked on multiple occasions to leave, and he chose not to do so. So I'm open to the conversation, but in my opinion, this is an open and shut case. He chose not to testify in his own defense, which is his right, but do not expect that we can magically try to extrapolate what was going on through your head if you decide not to get on the stand and tell us exactly what was going on through your head. And as the previous caller indicated, you have to believe that something was happening simultaneously. That in one case he was, standing his ground and not being told what to do with regard to leaving a tent where he was not supposed to be, but simultaneously he was in fear for his life. Those two things do not jive, and they do not jive for the jury. If you have anybody telling you that this is an all-white jury, and I see this going on a lot online, it was an all-white jury, it was an all-white jury. It was not an all-white jury. And anyone that you see saying that, then you know very well that they do not know what's happening in this case. They do not know the details of this case, because it was not an all-white jury. There was no African-American on the jury, but there were people of color on the jury. So just want to make sure you understand that. We got Trump at Madison Square Garden last night. We're going to talk about that. We've got the zoo situation regarding data centers. We're going to discuss that. I've got a tick update for you. I've got a story out of Ireland. But right now, I want to quickly turn to the Murphy Show hotline where Denny from Craft Body Scan is. And I've been telling you a lot about Craft Body Scan. And I just want to spend 60 or 90 seconds of your time and Denny's time talking about Craft Body Scan and helping you understand exactly what you're missing out on if you've not already made the call that so many others have made. Denny, what is going on, my friend?
Hey, how you guys doing?
Man, I'm great. I hope you are. I hope everything's going well over at Craft Body Scan.
It absolutely is, and I'm excited to be on the show and kind of spread that message of what we can do for the people in your area.
So I've been talking about it quite a bit, but from the horse's mouth, talk to us about what exactly the couple's heart and lung scan is.
All right, so everybody should know heart disease is the number one killer in America. 1 out of 3 Americans will die of a heart attack because they didn't know that they have a blockage. And when it comes to cancer, lung cancer is the most deadly and most prevalent cancer out there. So in order to try to make sure that this technology isn't a luxury, what we're offering is a chance for couples to come down and get that preventive heart and lung scan to see what's going on so they can get something fixed if they have a problem.
Well, that's what it's all about, brother. And now's the time to get it done, particularly from a monetary standpoint, because y'all are running this incredible special that I've been talking about for a while. Tell everybody about it.
All right, so normally the scan cost over $1,000. But we wanted to make sure that anybody that's listening to this right now, if they really want to get that scan, they can afford to do it. And it's Men's Health Month, so what a good thing to do to get down and get that preventive scan. So we've lowered the cost to $99 for 2 people to come into the office and get a heart and lung scan for prevention.
And you got to use promo code MATT50 if you go online. I want to encourage that with togetherwescan.com, promo code MATT50, and you'll get that $99 pricing. But here's the deal. You mentioned the guys, Denny, and I've been saying this, and I bet you experience it in at Kraft too. Guys, we just kind of avoid this thing, and that's why we need the ladies in the audience to step up, make the call, and schedule this appointment for themselves and their loved ones, because we dudes, we kind of, whistle past the graveyard, as we like to say, but the ladies in our lives need to keep us straight, and we need to know what's going on inside of our body before we become symptomatic.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, so many people hope that they good health. I'm sure there's somebody listening right now that goes, hey, I run, I don't eat bread, I do all the things I'm supposed to do, but we're still hoping that we have good health. And I can tell you from a matter of fact, when somebody gets those results and they're told, hey, your heart looks good, your lungs look good, it feels really good to know that nothing's going on. And if it's the opposite, if you had a blockage, well, what's more scary, having a heart attack or going and checking yourself in and getting something fixed before the heart attack?
Yeah, knowing early is so key, and that's what it's all about with Craft Body Scan. So go to the website, togetherwescan.com, put in promo code MATT50. Anything else we need to know, Denny?
Nope, sounds good. You know what? Just take advantage of it. It's a special we don't do very often, but for $99, it could save your life.
Y'all, get it done. Call Denny today and make the decision to get to Craft Body Scan. I know that you'll be happy with your decision. Denny, thanks for being on with us for a couple of minutes, brother.
Hey, this was great. Thank you so much.
All right, man. Take care. There's Denny from Craft Body Scan. Quick time out, 19 after the hour on Super Talk. Hello, friends. Matt Murphy for Tennessee Men's Clinic. Tennessee Men's Clinic has 3 separate locations and about to be a 4th in Middle Tennessee to serve all of you fellas in the audience. Now, listen up. This urology-based approach, men, can help save your relationship, or at least the relationship that you come to know and love, because changes happen when you get to middle age. And if those changes are affecting your testosterone levels, your energy levels, if they've affected your ability in the bedroom, perhaps it's ED, dare I say the 2 letters that no guy wants to hear, well, it affects a lot of men over the course of their lives, but you don't have to be one of them. If you contact Tennessee Men's Clinic, they can help. Go to TennesseeMen'sClinic.com. That's TennesseeMen'sClinic.com. Or make the call that so many others have made. 1 number for 3 locations. Clarksville, just north of the city, they've got you handled. In the middle of Nashville, Tennessee, in Midtown, they can take care of it. And in Cool Springs, and soon to be in Murfreesboro. We'll tell you more about that as the time comes. 615-208-9090. 615-208-9090 for Tennessee Men's Clinic.
Severe thunderstorm warnings in effect until 6:15 now for parts of Davidson, Rutherford, Wilson, and Cannon counties. You got a severe thunderstorm near Walter Hill or 8 miles north of Murfreesboro. It's moving southeast at 30 miles per hour. We're talking 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts and penny-size hail. In addition to that, boys, we got flash flood warnings for Davidson, Robertson, Rutherford, Sumner, and Wilson counties. So very heavy rain now, causing some flash flooding. You know where these dangerous areas are. If you see standing water, do not drive into standing water. U.S. is launching strikes against Iran, and a 47-year-old Nashville woman's in the hospital after a violent dog attack last night. These stories and more coming up at 5:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
That is on the way, friends. 24 minutes after the hour. Thank you, Ken Weaver. Do not drive through standing water. Just don't. You don't know what's going on underneath the surface. And yeah, like Ken said, you know the areas. And we're talking to you, Waymo. We're talking to you. There's a big-time thunder boomer moving through, and it's throwing down a lot of nasty weather. Just be on the lookout in your area. Now, if you're south of the city, if you're coming, Columbia's got a little bit of a dot there, but there's a big old red blob, man. I mean, big old red blob.
It's heavy rain, dude. Heavy rain.
I mean, it's right now all the way from Lebanon to down to Smyrna over to really to Nashville, to where we are. That's where kind of the circle of the blob, but it is big-time rain, and then there's other rain surrounding that. There's a little pop-up that's coming into Columbia right now, but just, from Nashville to the Kentucky line, Gallatin, coming toward Cookeville, just some nasty rain on the way, and there you go.
If you're on I-40 between Nashville and Lebanon, you're getting hammered.
Hammered in the rain sense.
Yes, sir.
Hopefully not hammered in any other way.
No, sir.
Just clarify that just in case.
Well, that
Jackson
doesn't
says.
happen in Nashville.
No, of course not. We don't do all of that in Nashville. Fellas, Elon Musk has responded to me, Matt Murphy, and I'm going to tell you all about it. Yes, I'm going to tell you all about it coming up in just a moment. Very excited. We mentioned that Elon had communicated with Matt Murphy. He sent me an email. It was very kind of him, indicating that he had a business opportunity for me that he wanted to let me know about. So I responded to him. And he has subsequently sent me some additional information. I'm going to tell you all about that coming up before we leave the airwaves here at 7 o'clock tonight. Now, several of you have asked, and so I'll answer. By now, you perhaps know that Karmelo Anthony was earlier today found guilty by a jury of his peers in the murder of Austin Metcalf. There's been a lot of conversation regarding the makeup of the jury. The prosecution argued that they did not believe the circumstances surrounding this crime had anything to do with race. They argued that they believed the circumstances were race neutral and should not require any sort of particular diversity amongst the jury. Judge John Roach overruled that objection. A jury pool started with 589 prospective jurors. It was narrowed down after a day of vetting by prosecutors and defense attorneys. One question that several prospective jurors refused to answer was in question, and all qualified African-American jurors were eventually dismissed for a variety of reasons, including they were dismissed by the prosecution in some cases. Now, what I have learned from Jay St. Clair, our good friend on Fridays, Fried Jay, over the years is that you don't select a jury, you disqualify people until you're left with the jury that you're left with. You strike a jury, you don't pick a jury. With that in mind, prosecutors asked prospective jurors if media coverage of the case had led them to form opinions. Several admitted it had. One replied, "I don't know if it's going to affect me, but I can't tell you those thoughts are not inside of my head." Another prospective juror, who was identified as an educator in the Frisco Independent School System, where both the defendant and victim attended separate high schools, said, "It's close enough to me at home that I'm not confident I can be completely fair." Potential jurors were asked if the age of the 19-year-old defendant, who was 17 at the time, would influence their judgment. They were also asked about his race. One prospective juror, whose prosecutors identified as African-American, said that he would, quote, "have a hard time putting a brother in jail," end quote. Anthony's attorney planned to argue that the defendant stabbed Metcalf, who was unarmed in self-defense. Prospective jurors were asked if they would hold it against Anthony if he did not testify. One prospective juror admitted that he would, saying silence is deafening. It matters. It's difficult to ignore. Anthony's attorney, Mike Howard, drew the ire of prospective jurors when he asked them, how do you feel about the country's immigration policies? A number of them refused to answer, saying that they believed it to be irrelevant. Both the prosecution and the defense were allowed to dismiss 10 people. 12 jurors and 6 alternates were seated just after 5 p.m. last week. Opening statements took place the next morning. There were, in fact, people of color on the jury, and the 3 main prospective jurors that were identified as African American all said during the vetting process that they could not be objective in the course of the trial. Well, if you cannot have objectivity in the course of the trial, then you're not going to be allowed to be seated on the jury, regardless of the color of your skin. Makes sense? Does to me. In the meantime, it does not seem as if there's been any escalation in and around McKinney, Texas, where this trial was held. We'll continue to update you on that story as the program unfolds. I guess the line of argument here was that Metcalf wasn't allowed to tell Karmelo Anthony that he had to leave the tent, and so this somehow justifies Karmelo Anthony using deadly force. It's just absurd, folks. And sadly, there are people that have been convinced by race baiters and race hustlers that there is no fairness in American justice when it suits them. And they make a lot of money on this. We'll continue discussing it. Nincompoops in the news coming up. It's 5:30. You're listening to Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Again, severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect until 6:15 for Rutherford, southeastern Wilson, and Cannon counties. Winds could reach up to 70 miles per hour. Could be some penny-sized hail. This storm is moving to the southeast at 30 miles per hour. In the meantime, we've got a flash flood warning in effect for several counties here in Middle Tennessee. That would be Robertson and Sumner counties until 7:15. You know where those dangerous areas are. If there is standing water, do not drive into it. U.S. is launching strikes against Iran at President Trump's direction in response to the downing of a U.S. Army Apache helicopter in the Strait of Hormuz last night. And a 47-year-old Nashville woman is in the hospital after a violent dog attack last night. Channel 4's Joylyn Bukovac says a neighbor called 911 just before midnight after hearing the woman's screams there on McKinney Avenue.
Metro Police say that officers responded to this house right here after reports of a woman screaming inside of the home. Neighbors are the one that heard her needing help, and they called 911. Metro Police say what officers found inside the home forced them to make a split-second decision.
Yeah, they shot the dogs. They say they found the woman on the kitchen floor covered in blood with the dogs either on or around her. They're reportedly pit bulls, which she had obtained from a rescue organization. And right now in Nashville, an emergency push to temporarily block any new data centers could be voted on in the Metro Council tonight. Metro Council member Courtney Johnston filed it. Meanwhile, Channel 4 says it has learned there is nothing in Metro code stopping a data center from being built next to the zoo. Cell phone bans are in place in schools across the country, including Tennessee. New research shows some effects of the restrictions. ABC's Bethany Braun-Silva has more.
The largest study to date found that while restrictions dramatically reduce phone use during the school day, improvements in test scores and attendance are less immediate. Still, educators say phone-free classrooms feel different. Teachers in New York, which recently marked 1 year under a statewide ban, reported fewer distractions, stronger student engagement, and more face-to-face interaction among students. Researchers say the long-term academic impact of cell phone bans may take years to fully understand. Bethany Braun-Silva, ABC News, New York.
That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Yeah, so you got those severe thunderstorm warnings. You've also got the flash flood warnings here in Middle Tennessee. So, as you could imagine, you've got some wet interstates, and it is causing quite the backup. Now, on the West Loop, we've got a crash that's not helping matters. That's going to be 40 eastbound there at 65. In Murfreesboro, right shoulder blocked by a crash, 24 eastbound at Medical Center Parkway. 24 westbound right there in Montgomery County. That's going to be between Clarksville and the Kentucky state line. 24 westbound is shut down there because of a serious crash. You got the Tennessee Highway Patrol on the scene. And then in Robertson County, a crash, 65 southbound approaching Gallatin Cross Plains. Arrington and Williamson County, a crash, 840 westbound near Horton Highway. I'm Ken Weaver.
And I think we reached that high temperature there. I'm imagining that it got up to the 90s. Hey, I want to tell you a little bit about Cover Nash. Shane Ring and his incredible company, Cover Nash, can help assist you in navigating this ridiculous minefield that is health insurance and the fine print that comes with it. I mean, confusing percentages, surprise bills, fine print that bites back. Flat, friends, it is just an incredibly difficult thing to navigate if you don't understand the ins and outs of health insurance in the way that Shane Ring does. Shane Ring has it all down for you. He does not work for health insurance companies. He works for you and your family, and he will find you the best deal for you and your family. That's how Shane operates. That's how Cover Nash operates. I understand that you might be frustrated with your current insurance situation, particularly if you don't understand what it covers and what it doesn't. Shane will help you with that. All you have to do is make the call, schedule an appointment, either via phone, Zoom, or right there in person in Brentwood. They can help. You do not have to play by Washington's rules. You can save a tremendous amount of money. You can keep your doctor in your hospital. You don't have to go by the government's rules. Real health coverage on your terms with Cover Nash. CoverNash.com for any questions whatsoever. No obligation. Make the call that so many others have made. 615-465-0023, 465-0023, or CoverNash.com. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Matt Murphy and the Matt Murphy Radio Show continues. Thank you for being around with us. We appreciate you. I feel like before I go to D'Angelo, I should do nincompoops. I feel like that's the case, although maybe I'm wrong. Jackson, I'm going to let you decide. I do want to have I want to have a conversation with D'Angelo, and I think it's important. And he called earlier. I'll tell you what. We'll do this. I will make myself limit the call to just a few minutes, let D'Angelo talk, and then we can reflect on the other side. Is that fair? That's fair. All right. D'Angelo is next. Nincompoop's coming up. D'Angelo's no nincompoop. Hey, D'Angelo, how are you?
What's going on, Mr. Murphy?
What's happening?
Hey, man, listen. I wanted to say is that I've listened to you, and you're probably going to get mad at me, but I'm kind of somewhat frustrated because, like, when we were talking about you said something earlier today about the all-white jury. I mean, I get it. In a perfect world, I wish that if a person of color, especially a black male, if he had an all-white jury, I would hope that he would get the benefit of the doubt. But history dictates that it's not the case.
They weren't all white. They weren't all white.
Well, they were majority were white. There was not one black person on that jury. The other people were people of color or from another nationality.
So now people of color. So it's not enough to have people of color. And by the way, there were multiple African American jurors that had an opportunity to serve on the jury but they said that they couldn't be impartial.
They didn't get a chance. They didn't get a chance.
No, they didn't get a chance because they were truthful to their credit, and they said that they couldn't be impartial.
Yeah. Well, but here's the thing: is that back in 2010, there was a study that was done by, I believe it was Duke University, and they said that whenever you have an all-white jury,
which we didn't have in this case, but go ahead.
Whenever you have an all-white jury,
which we didn't have in this case, but go ahead.
Like I said, it was when you have an all-white jury.
Are we calling brown people white now, dude? I mean, what are you doing? Why are you calling brown people white?
81%. 81% of the time is that person is going to be found guilty.
Are you calling brown people white people? Is that what you're doing?
Hey, but what I'm saying, when you have a majority of a white jury, I'll say that.
Okay, now it's a majority of white people. What percentage of America? D'Angelo? What percentage of America is white?
What I'm saying is, and I understand what you're saying, but when you go back through history, when a black person, a black male would go in and was put on trial, and it was an all-white jury, oftentimes he was found to be guilty.
I understand that the judicial system was unfair to black people in the past.
How do you feel comfortable? How do you feel comfortable with being able to stand up or being put on trial? When you're on trial,
well, how would you prefer we do it, D'Angelo? How would you prefer we do it?
I would prefer we do it in a way that it would be a more diverse group of people that were on the jury.
So we have racial quotas. So you want racial quotas for juries?
Black people and white people. It's a difference in thinking.
Huh? Okay, so we should segregate. We should segregate juries then.
No, I think you ought to just make it fair. I think you ought to just make it fair.
Explain. So you assume. So you assume. D'Angelo, how dare you? Are you saying I'm not your peer because I'm white?
No, I'm saying your peers are not only white, black, they're brown, they're Asian, they're all different races. But when you have a majority of them that are white, come on, man, that's not right. That's not.
How is that not right? You're assuming your statement, D'Angelo. Listen, D'Angelo. Pause for a second. Pause for a second. You're assuming there were D'Angelo. Are you assuming that white people can't decide fairly the fate of a black defendant? That's what you're saying.
I did not say that. But
then what is your problem with white people being on the jury? What is your problem with white people?
No. I never said that, and I never said that. That was wrong right there, what you said. I never said I had a problem with white people.
Well, do you have a problem with them on the jury? You most certainly have a problem with them on a jury.
With a jury, I have a problem with a jury is not made up of all of his peers. It's not a diversity of his peers.
Explain to me how black people are so. No. Explain to me. So who's if black people and white? Come on, man. This is ridiculous.
If there was a whole group of black people, black males or black females that were going to judge your.
Let's go. Let's go. I have every faith. I have every faith in the world. I have every faith in the world that those people are going to look at the evidence presented in front of them and make an adequate. I'm telling you. You asked me a question. I'm telling you the answer.
No, because of the way that you guys, how you like when this.
Who the hell is you guys? Who the hell is you guys?
What are you?
You said the way that you guys. Who the hell is you guys? My name is Matt Murphy.
The hell is your radio station? The hell is your radio station?
My name is Matt.
As soon as this thing came out,
you guys.
As soon as this thing came out, this guy was already guilty.
When did you hear me say that? Never. I never said it.
You didn't say it, but you treated it like he was guilty. You treated it like he was guilty.
You guys. I mean, D'Angelo, you can be, D'Angelo.
You can go ahead and say that. You guys.
You guys.
You can go ahead and say that, man.
You said it. I didn't say that. You're the one that's suggesting that all white people can't fairly. Come on, man.
I did not say that.
This is ridiculous.
I did not say that. I just simply said he needs to have a jury of his peers. When I said you guys, I was talking about your radio station, but you jumped in and you didn't let me finish. I love how you try to paint this narrative, Matt. It's kind of messed up, bro, that you would actually do that.
So your point, D'Angelo, your point. No, you did it. You did it. You're the one that said it. You're the one that said it. You guys.
You didn't let me finish. I was talking about your radio station, man.
Dude, I control what I say out of my mouth. I'm an individual, just as you are an individual. And if you want to engage in groupthink, you're in the wrong place.
Radio station, you're the one.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? The radio station. Who are you talking about? You talking about me? You talking about Chad? You talking about Chris? Who are you talking about? Who are you talking about?
I ain't talking about Chad, because Chad is the one who makes sense. I'm talking about the little guy in the very morning, Chris. Thank you. You guys. I shouldn't have said that.
That's all. It's
you
funny.
guys never give this guy a chance. You guys never gave this guy a chance,
brother.
In all honesty, you never got him a chance. And let me also
D'Angelo, you've never heard me. D'Angelo, be honest. You've never heard me talk about this case. You've never heard me talk. No, you haven't. You know why? Because I haven't brought it up as a subject.
Hey, when it first came out,
I talked about it when it first came out. Yeah,
that's what I said.
But I haven't talked about this trial.
So let's be serious.
You know why? I didn't talk about this trial? Because I believe in our judicial system. I believe in our system of justice.
You guys, come on, Matt. I mean, how you gonna play me like that, Matt?
You guys.
Come on.
You think D'Angelo? You think we get together and decide on what our position is going to be on issues or something?
Oh, hell yeah! I'm sorry. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're wrong.
Except for
you're wrong.
Chad.
You're wrong.
And Chad just don't give a that gum.
You're wrong.
Look, I don't understand this. You got I'm sorry. 99.7. I don't disagree about anything.
I don't know. I don't even know what you're talking about anymore. So you're suggesting that a black man. So let's get back to the point, because I don't have unlimited time. So you're suggesting that a black man cannot get a fair trial unless there's a black person on the jury?
I'll say this, and thank you for asking me that question. I learned that from the Congress. I will say that if you look at the history, it's very hard for a black person to get a fair trial with a majority white jury.
Mm-hmm.
Those are facts right there. But also, let me just say this, too. When the kid goes over into the tent, I've got kids that are athletic and run track. That's not an uncommon thing for another kid from another school to come over into your tent and chop it up with you because they're friends. It's not like it's football. But not only that, Matt, let me ask you this question. I want you to be honest.
You know what's uncommon though, D'Angelo? Can I say something to that?
Finish,
You know
man.
what is uncommon?
Stuff in there to throw me off track.
Well,
I figured it out. Y'all throw stuff at me to throw me off track.
No. I
Let me ask you a
was just trying to have a
question,
dialogue.
Matt. If a kid told you about tent, are you gonna get out of that tent, Matt?
Yes.
When you're in high school.
If I'm in their tent,
okay.
I'm in their tent.
Okay.
And they're like, "You've got to leave our tent." Yeah, you leave the tent.
I kind of believe that you were kind of like a hell raiser,
Well,
and it was about to go down.
Well, what would you do, D'Angelo?
I'm
Just
judging
start whipping ass and taking names, or what?
No, I'm not going to whoop his tail, but what I am going to do now, I ain't going nowhere because I'm talking to my
Would you
friend.
stab him
Just
in the
like
chest,
Kid was
D'Angelo?
doing.
Would you stab him in the chest with a 5-inch knife?
I'm not going to, and I literally, genuinely, I hate the fact that the boy died, and I hate the fact that he got stabbed.
Well, I'm glad to hear that.
I prefer it. Yeah, but I also want to say this. Why did the kid have to say anything to Mr. Anthony? I mean, Mr. Anthony was sitting there talking to someone. Why did Mr. Austin have to say anything to him?
That's not based on the testimony in the case.
Well, I heard the testimony and I read the testimony.
Right, and he was and so he was asked to leave. He was asked to leave that team's tent multiple times, and he refused to, and he got aggressive.
But he was talking to someone. I mean, who is Mr. Austin to tell you got to get out of his tent? He's not an authority figure. Like, really, he's not an authority figure.
Oh, so your argument.
Any high school student being told by another student, if you're a young man and you got some bravado about you,
so he deserved. So he deserved to get stabbed. So he deserved to get stabbed. Okay, well then what should have happened, D'Angelo? D'Angelo, listen to what you're saying. Listen to what would have been a success, D'Angelo. For just a second. What would have been the proper outcome of this situation? Should the team have left the tent that was their tent and left it to Karmelo Anthony, or should Karmelo Anthony have decided to leave?
What should have happened is the boy shouldn't have never said anything to him because he wasn't bothering him.
He was at their. What are you talking about? He was at their tent, invading their space.
I don't care.
What are you?
No,
you don't care.
Raining, dude.
Go to your own tent. What are you talking about? Go to your own tent. He was there to cause trouble. He was there to cause trouble, and he found it. And dude, he was asked to leave 15 times. He refused to leave. Why did he refuse to leave? Why did he refuse to leave? Why did he refuse to leave?
I'm gonna tell you the mindset of a young man. You ain't making me go nowhere because if he does, he's gonna be called. You got punked.
D'Angelo, listen to this clearly. Listen to this clearly. You know where we're going to make him go? We're going to make him go to jail for murdering another human being. That's where we're going to make him go. Thank you for the call. Nincompoops on the other side of the top of the hour. It's Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hi, friends. Matt Murphy for Genesis Diamonds. Right now at Genesis Diamonds, they have zero interest happening, and man, oh man, you need to take advantage of it. Now, there's a lot of interest going on in a lot of different places around the country, and y'all know what I'm talking about. But at Genesis Diamonds, they're going to make it easy for you because for the month of June, luxury pre-owned watches, diamonds of any size, shape, or sort, wedding bands, colored bands, fashion necklaces, handcrafted Tacori rings are all interest-free at Genesis Diamonds. Financing rates are all down to zero. On approved credit, all you have to do is talk to Genesis Diamond to get the store for details. Don't miss this amazing offer. All natural and lab-grown diamonds are included now through June 30th. Both locations are included in this incredible deal. That would be Cool Springs and Green Hills. Go by and see them. Tell them I sent you to Genesis Diamonds and talk to them about you can have an amazing. All you got to do is divide by 60. Sales tax included. So you take that incredible home run gift, divided by 60. That's your monthly payment. Go by Genesis Diamonds today to see what we're talking about. I encourage you to do this before the end of June, because when it's done at Genesis Diamonds.
Severe thunderstorm warnings now until 6:15. This is going to be for Rutherford, Cannon, looks like Warren, Coffee, Eastern Bedford, Northwestern Grundy, and Southern Cannon counties. Severe thunderstorm is about 11 miles south of Woodbury. It's moving southeast at 35 miles per hour. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts are possible with this. Now, in addition to the severe thunderstorm warnings, we've got flash flood warnings in effect for Robertson and Sumner County until 7:15. Also, central Sumner County until 7:15. You know where all these dangerous places are. If you see water on the road, don't drive into it. And, of course, the top stories coming up, including the U.S. response to the downing of that Army Apache helicopter in the Strait of Hormuz at 6 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
3888 writes in, I was going to write in Weaver for governor, but then he told that story about the tick behind the kid's ear in Oklahoma, and that was gross. By the way, speaking of Oklahoma.
Yes, sir?
You're Sooners, buddy.
What about them?
Aren't y'all in the World Series?
Yeah.
College World Series?
Yeah.
Who y'all playing?
We got to play.
I know who you're playing.
We're playing Alabama.
Bama.
You know what I think they're trying to do?
What's that?
I think they're trying to make Oklahoma and Alabama a rival and Texas and Georgia a rival.
Well, that's fine.
Tennessee decided to take the year off to let some other teams have a chance.
Thanks, Jackson. Hey, Jackie, are you on the Sooner bandwagon or the Crimson Tide? Where you at?
I just hope neither team has fun.
Jackson didn't know what to do because I called him Jackie.
I didn't like that.
You didn't like it? You don't care for it? I can't add that to the end?
Nope.
Okay.
Ole Miss is in there, too.
Ole Miss is in there.
Once again, hope they don't have fun.
And then the eventual champion, the Georgia Bulldogs.
Georgia Bulldogs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure. We got another hour to go. We got Nincompoops coming up in just a moment, and your calls. Stand by.
Six o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. These severe thunderstorms continue to move southeast at about 30 miles per hour. Right now, we've got a number of counties under the gun for this severe thunderstorm warning. That includes Rutherford and Cannon counties until 6:15. And then you've got Rutherford, Warren, Coffee, Eastern Bedford, Grundy, and Southern Cannon counties until 7:15. These storms moving to the southeast at 35 miles per hour. They're capable of 60-mile-per-hour winds and some hail. And then some danger in all of this, too. We've got a flash flood warning. Flash flood warnings in effect for several counties. Right now, we've got Robertson and Sumner counties until 7:15. Robertson County, that's southeastern Robertson County and west central Sumner County. And then flash flood warning until 7 for Davidson and Wilson County. So if you see water in the road, don't drive into it. You know where those dangerous spots are in this kind of rain. Got the full forecast and traffic in 5 minutes.
This is a special report from ABC News. I'm Wayne Cabot. Explosions are reported in Iran as the U.S. retaliates for a drone attack that forced down a U.S. Apache helicopter near the Strait of Hormuz this morning in the waters off Oman. President Trump saying a short time ago, I believe the response should be very strong, very powerful, and that's what this one is. The crew of the Apache was not hurt, but the attack raises the stakes, says ABC News military consultant Nick Mulroy.
It appears that this was a hostile act that took down the Apache helicopter. And I don't know if this was directly tied to it, but it probably was, that U.S. military had to respond. So this has become a commonplace.
And just now, Iran says it will respond to the U.S. strikes. Iranian state media reporting explosions on an Iranian island in the Strait of Hormuz. Its foreign minister saying the best way for foreign forces near the strait to reduce their risk is for them to leave. This is ABC News.
Here in Nashville, police say a desperate call for help led to a dramatic rescue late last night. Just before midnight, a neighbor reported hearing screams coming from a home on McKinney Avenue where a woman was under attack by 5 of her dogs. Channel 4's Steve Mailing.
It was through cries for help that neighbors were able to get on the phone and dial 911. But by the time officers got here, they had no choice but to shoot the dogs. The Metro Department of Health, who oversees the city's animal care and control, says the woman had 6 pit bulls inside her home, 5 of which she adopted and 1 was a foster. Police say just before midnight, neighbors found the woman being attacked in her home by 5 of the dogs. It took officers around 6 minutes to get there and kill the dogs after being forced to in order to protect themselves and the woman.
Yeah, that woman is recovering from surgery at Skyline Medical Center, and all of those dogs were from rescue centers. Metro Council may vote tonight on an emergency bill that would put a temporary freeze on new data centers. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. All right, severe thunderstorm warnings right now for Rutherford. It looks like Wilson, Bedford, Cannon counties, and then flash flood warnings for Davidson and Wilson, also Robertson and Sumner counties. You see water in the road, you know not to drive into it. In addition to the heavy rain, we've got crashes we're dealing with, 24 eastbound near Briley Parkway. In Montgomery County, 24 westbound between Clarksville and the Kentucky state line. Then Murfreesboro Pike near Bell Road, Murfreesboro Pike near Thompson Lane, 40 westbound just west of Whitebridge Pike, Briley Parkway, Donaldson, Briley Parkway northbound past Elm Hill Pike, Chilton, 24 eastbound near New Hope Road. I'm Ken Weaver.
Here we go. It's hour number 4 of the Matt Murphy Radio Show. 7 minutes past 6. A lively one thus far. And listen, I appreciate healthy and hearty disagreement. Even D'Angelo, I know that it can get heated at times. I apologize for my role in all of that if need be. D'Angelo, I hope you enjoyed the conversation. I know I certainly did. 615-737-9986. We'll get back to the conversation with Wayne, Tony, Dominic, and perhaps Mike in just a few moments. I'm fascinated with this idea of you don't get to tell me where to be and what to do as a defense for what happened in Frisco, Texas. That I get to go wherever I want to go, and you don't get to tell me where I'm supposed to be or where I'm not supposed to be, regardless of where I'm supposed to be or where I'm not supposed to be, because you're not an authority figure, I suppose. And if you do, and it escalates to the point where people are trying to physically make you leave, then that, I guess, gives you the opening to stab someone in the chest with a 5-inch blade. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I'm trying to make it make sense. And for the life of me, I can't make it make sense. At very least, that argument leads you to a conclusion that this was manslaughter. At least. And not self-defense. Because what you can't argue, and this is what D'Angelo was doing, you can't argue that he was like, you don't get to tell me what to do, and simultaneously he was afraid for his life, which is the only justification for stabbing someone in the chest with a 5-inch blade. That you have to be in real and actual physical danger and belief that you're going to be killed. And oh, by the way, and I've spoken to a number of judges, and I know a number of judges. I was just having a communication with one via text. And I just confirmed this, that in their 25 years on the bench, they have never known an individual to claim self-defense successfully without testifying in their own defense. It doesn't work that way. It just doesn't. 615-737-9986 if you'd like to be a part of the show. We'll get back to your calls. I do have an Elon Musk response that I will share later on in the show. But I need to do this really quickly because we like to do it at the same time every day. Jackson declared that he knew exactly what was going to happen as soon as I took D'Angelo's call, and that was that it would absorb the final segment of the 5 o'clock hour. Jackson, you are wise. I am foolish. You're smart. I'm dumb. You're the best. I'm the worst. I suck. You're awesome. It's time for Nincompoops
in the news.
Hey, by the way, you won yesterday. I don't know if you knew that or not.
I did?
Yeah. Woo! Oh, you didn't know?
I did not know.
Oh, in that case, Ken, congratulations. You won yesterday.
Yay. Okay, the
No.
Jackson, what's the order, sir?
The order will be Williams, Weaver, then Murphy.
Mm-hmm. Williams, Weaver, Murphy.
Has it been decreed, Brother Jackson?
Yeah, let me get the horn guy.
He's in the toilet again.
Yeah, no, he got caught out in the rain. His horn's all wet.
Well, that's unfortunate for him. It's been raining out there, boys. All right, Jackson, let's do it.
Banana chip bandit busted. Accused Publix thief was unable to give Florida cops the slip.
Oh, I see what you did there.
The banana,
that's a good one. You didn't write that. That was written for you.
The banana chip bandit has been fully apprehended. Police report a bizarre crime spree ended last night with the arrest of a 59-year-old Florida woman for the theft of about $300 worth of banana chips from a supermarket chain. From the supermarket chain Publix. Cops charge that Annette Nichols has repeatedly swiped banana chips from a Publix near her Vero Beach residence over the past few weeks. Nichols has been coming into the store and stealing the same one piece of merchandise off the shelves. The item in question is a $6.49 bag of banana chips, an arrest affidavit states. Lorenzo Altamura, a Publix deli manager, told cops that Nichols has stolen banana chips on 6 separate dates. Okay. We're going to break this down really fast.
I loved banana chips.
$300 worth. That's about 50 bags.
That's a lot of banana chips.
So she's stealing about 10 bags a trip.
I mean, she's obviously potassium deficient.
Yes, sir.
No, I don't think she is anymore.
Not anymore.
Well, yeah. I mean, she was. She should claim some sort of medical emergency. Potassium deficiency, and she had to do what she had to do.
It should be important to note that due to this ongoing theft of banana chips, Lorenzo has limited the amount of banana chip stock that he puts on the shelf.
What? He's holding them back. They're under lock and key with the Apple iPhones.
An Indian River County Sheriff's Office deputy added, Annette continues to take all the bags that she can. While Nichols has paid for some chips at self-checkout, she has failed to scan other bags before exiting Publix.
Yeah.
When confronted by police, Nichols reportedly confessed to the banana chip heist and said she did not know why she steals and something so stupid, adding, it's not worth going to jail over. A search of Nichols' car turned up 15 more bags of banana chips.
Good gracious.
Some of which were apparently stolen Monday from the Vero Beach store. As well as a second Publix in a neighboring county.
I mean, I like banana chips, but my goodness.
This pattern of behavior of banana chip theft from Annette is a common occurrence, a sheriff's deputy alleged. Charged with theft, Nichols was freed from custody last night after posting a $150 bond from the misdemeanor charge. She was convicted in 2024 of retail theft for skip scanning items at an Indian River retailer. Court records do not indicate whether Nichols was consuming the purloined banana chips. Sheriff and jail records list the 5'7" Nichols' occupation as an accountant. These documents alternately put her weight at either 340 or 220 pounds.
My goodness.
That's a wide range.
That's also a heavy load to be eating that many banana chips. I almost am willing to concede nincompoops to Jackson for being able to properly pronounce purloined.
Yes.
I mean, that's solid by you, Jack.
That's way to go, Brother Jack.
Didn't think I had it in me?
I didn't think you had it in you, but you apparently do. And you know what she's got in her? A lot of banana chips.
Whole bunch.
Y'all ever actually talk to a klepto, like a legit klepto? I had one on the show years and years ago.
They just can't help themselves.
They legitimately cannot help themselves. They cannot resist the opportunity and the urge to take things that, I mean, it's the thrill and it's just a irresistible urge for them.
Did they take anything from your studio?
Yeah, maybe. You know, stealing, borrowing things without permission is stealing. It's a note on my cubbyhole because people were borrowing my headphones. Ken Weaver.
Yes, sir.
You're a nincompoop.
Henderson, Kentucky. Man accused of exposing himself inside women's locker room at Atkinson Pool. On Saturday, Henderson police officers say they were called to Atkinson Pool after someone reported finding a naked man in the women's locker room. Investigators say Corey Wilson was in the women's locker room completely naked with an adult and 2 children present. According to police, Wilson said, I didn't know I was in the women's locker room, but decided to hurry up and change while he was in there, even asking the woman to hand him his britches. Wilson is charged with indecent exposure, first degree, first offense.
Hey, ma'am, hand me my britches.
Well, he needs them, and he's put them on.
I need my dungarees, ma'am. Thank you.
I embellished that.
I need my pantaloons.
I just thought that'd be funny to add.
My britches.
But he waited to get dressed.
Yeah, you know.
Y'all look the other way. Look away.
We got the World Cup going on. This is, topical nincompoops coming up. Topical.
Oh, here we go.
Very excited about this. We got this World Cup going on.
Yeah.
And, we've got Japan that's practicing in Nashville. Well, apparently these World Cup soccer teams, they're like all over the country, and they're practicing all over the country. They find themselves a little city that would be good for them to practice in, and that's where they're practicing. Well, Switzerland. Guess where Switzerland's practicing?
Where? Chattanooga?
San Diego. The area adjacent to the national football team's training center is at the San Diego Jewish Academy. And apparently, it's infested with snakes.
Oh.
Yeah. The national squad chose San Diego to better prepare for their World Cup debut match against Qatar Saturday. The team is already coping with the humid conditions in the United States. While adapting to their new environment, they also have to deal with another alarming problem. Snakes. Like a lot of snakes. The official account of the Swiss Football Association posted a photo of their facility with labels indicating no-go zones in certain sections marked snake area or beware of snakes, also snake zone. According to the San Diego Museum of Natural History, there are 4 species of venomous rattlesnakes in the region, and there are a lot of them. Switzerland is not the only national team to be on guard against the presence of snakes in the World Cup. Norway was also asked to be beware of the dangerous reptiles. Neither Norway nor Switzerland has significant snake problems in their own country, and so they're not very accustomed to these types of warnings.
They should have made those two teams practice in New Orleans.
That would be sticky.
Hey, Matt.
Yes, Jax.
You know what they call cleats in Europe? Soccer cleats?
What do they call soccer cleats in Europe, Jax?
They call them boots.
Oh, do they?
So if one of these snakes got in their cleats, they could say,
There's a snake in my boot.
If anybody thought that was funny, I get credit for it. You vote for me. Thank you, Jackson.
Kim thought it was funny. I thought it was a good joke.
There's a snake in my boot.
You gonna go see Toy Story 5?
I think isn't it Switzerland? Isn't it Dutch where the word "the end" is pronounced "slut"? Isn't that?
I don't know.
There's a different language. There's a language where the end or the signal that something has concluded is pronounced "sloot." But it's written "slut."
Ken, I'm starting to think Matt just loves to find a way to slip a little swear in every show.
Well, I was just having a little conversation with you about there's being a snake in my boot. There's a snake in my cleat.
Boot.
Or boot. Well, that's a boot it for all of us. That's Nincompoops in the News. You can vote for Ken Weaver. You can vote for Jackson Williams. I would encourage you to just go ahead and hit that button and play that music. Or you can vote for me, and I would encourage you to vote for me. The official account at the Swiss football team says that there has been no reported sighting of any snakes out in the San Diego area. Got to look out for those snakes, my friends.
Yes,
speaking of snakes, we've got a bunch of you on the phones. Wayne, Tony, Mike, Chad, Frank, not necessarily in that order. We'll get to you in moments on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. The Wellness Institute of Nashville has my seal of approval. As simple as that, friends, because they're great at what they do. The Wellness Institute of Nashville can alleviate your pain wherever it hurts. Back pain, neck pain, knee pain, hip pain. They have the incredible Medical Bay 1. This thing is futuristic indeed. It is a healing machine that massages your body while doing full-body lasers, including red light therapy, stem cell stimulation for tissue regeneration, and photons of wavelength for ultimate healing. That's what it's all about. And it was created by Dr. Kevin Mitchell, Dr. Ashley, and the rest of the team at the Wellness Institute of Nashville. Ask about their epic spinal special, $33 off each visit. Epic healing for an epic civilization. No surgery, no injection, and no painkillers, and no downtime. Just healing results. That's what it's all about, friends. You don't want to consider surgery. You don't want to pop pills and cover the pain. Go to painisbad.com. That's painisbad.com, or call 615-246-5009. 615-246-5009 for the Wellness Institute of Nashville.
With minimal skin.
Well, Iran is promising a response to the U.S. response to that Army Apache helicopter being shot down in the Strait of Hormuz. Got this story and more coming up at 6:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
It is Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Just I've not made mention of this story regarding the fostered dogs and this poor woman who, by all accounts, was trying to do the right thing and do right by animals that probably did not have the best of lives, and they turned against her, and that's just a very sad situation. In the meantime, Nashville Zoo says no to a data center, and there have been a lot of people that have signed this petition, including yours truly. I was challenged. I was like, I'll sign any petition that you want me to sign. Come on, let's go. Courtney Johnston, formerly a good friend of the show. I don't know anymore. Jackson ticked her off at some point, and now she won't come back on the show.
Yeah, it was me.
Yeah. Nashville City Councilor from District 26. I love Courtney, and I gotta call her and tell her that we appreciate all the work that she does, and sometimes I find myself yelling at the wrong people. Anyway, she said, thank you for responding to this call of action, making your voice heard via this petition. Please know I'm doing everything in my power legislatively and otherwise to prevent this development next to our beloved zoo. I late filed a temporary moratorium on data center related development to give us time to pass policy and regulation around data centers. I have co-sponsored that bill. So there's more to come on that front. In the meantime, Tony is next. Hello, Tony.
Hey, man, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing well, Tony. I hope you are.
Oh, man, I'm great, man. Shoot, I'm breathing. It don't get no better than that.
That's excellent, my friend. What's your thoughts on all of this, brother?
Well, let me go at it. There was once a famous man that made this statement. Before he gained some sense, before he took the veil of hatred away from in front of his face where he could see, he said, and I quote, he said, "I'm for justice, no matter who administers it." He says, "I'm for truth, no matter who says it." You know who said that?
Who's that?
Malcolm X said that.
Mm-hmm.
And by making that statement, he took race, color, and all of that out of truth and justice. Now, D'Angelo, I think, well, I'm not even going to make that statement about it, because what he says otherwise about him. I get sick of people saying, well, they need to choose a jury of their peers. When they talking about peers, they put they put a color or a race on it. By being judged by a group of my peers, you're talking about another group of human beings. Not black people, not white people, just another group of human beings. Period. When we was raising our children, a person like D'Angelo, we didn't allow our children to play with people's children like that. It's because Scripture says, if the tree is bad, then the fruit is bad.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's take, for instance, if you had made the statement to D'Angelo, you people, how you think he would have reacted to that?
Probably the same way that I reacted to him.
Yeah, but he would have went ballistic.
Yeah.
See, he keeps saying that he don't hate white people, but everything that comes out of his mouth indicates that he hates white people.
Or at very least, Tony, he does not believe that white people can be fair-minded and free of bias based on the color of their skin. I mean, that's the only thing that I can extrapolate. If you know, no one prevented any black person from serving on that jury except that they were struck for cause. And
so that person,
Right, for the individual,
They
for what they said. Right.
From that jury.
Based on
Now,
what they
here's the-
said. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. But here's the other thing. A person like D'Angelo, they are unreasonable people. And I say that to say this. Unreasonable people are dangerous people. That's the reason why Paul said, pray for us, brethren, that the word of God might have free course, that we might be delivered from unreasonable and wicked people. For all men have not faith. When you allow your children to play with people like that's children, you are putting your children in danger. But most people don't think that way. Now see, D'Angelo, look here. I hope to God he changes someday. But listening to his conversation, man, he dug in. It don't matter what happened. All he see is the color black, and he think that's all right. And that's a dangerous man. But see, the problem is that number one is he got up going to that meet with trouble on his mind. Why else would he pack a weapon and take it with him? Other than that, yeah, we go out, we do things, even when we have softball games. Why do you play softball? We didn't go over another opposite dugout, not doing the game or anything else. It's because we respected that.
I want to,
D'Angelo, brother, I hope you change your heart someday.
Tony, it's well spoken. I'm going to get to the news. I appreciate the telephone call, and look, I appreciate D'Angelo calling the show. I appreciate sparring with him, and Tony, I appreciate your comments as well. 32 after the hour on Super Talk.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Still got severe thunderstorm warnings in effect until about 6:45 now. You've got parts of Rutherford County, looks like Wilson County, Bedford County, Cannon County, and then flash flood warnings for parts of Davidson, Wilson, also Robertson and Sumner County. The U.S. is launching strikes against Iran at President Trump's direction in response to the downing of a U.S. Army Apache helicopter in the Strait of Hormuz. Martha Raddatz with Iran's response.
These ongoing retaliatory U.S. strikes on Iran targeting multiple locations like radar and command and control centers are a significant response to the downing of that U.S. Apache helicopter. But tonight, Iran vowing a decisive response to the U.S. and any nation here in the Middle East hosting U.S. bases.
Right now in Nashville, data center pushback. Channel 4 says Metro Council member Courtney Johnston has filed an emergency bill to temporarily pause any new data centers. Money News, Wayne Cabot.
Major markets were mixed Tuesday in a tech and artificial intelligence sell-off. The Dow was 85 points up at closing. The S&P 500 lost 19 points, and the Nasdaq fell 251. OpenAI has filed documents with the Securities and Exchange Commission to potentially become a publicly traded company. The ChatGPT company saying it hasn't yet decided on timing for an initial public offering. European Union regulators have ordered Meta to restore access to WhatsApp for rival AI chatbot makers. EU antitrust regulators are concerned third-party AI developers were blocked from offering virtual assistants on WhatsApp and didn't accept Meta's offer to charge competitors for access to WhatsApp. Just in time for beach season, the FDA has improved a new sunscreen ingredient for the U.S. market. The FDA says that bimotrizonol meets agency standards for UV protection with minimal skin irritation. It's the first new sunscreen to be approved in 25 years.
That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. All right, so we still have severe thunderstorms and flash flooding in Middle Tennessee. Not helping traffic matters are the crashes. We've got 124 eastbound past Harding Place, 24 eastbound past Hickory Hollow Parkway. That's a truck accident blocking the shoulder. Then we've got in Montgomery County an earlier crash, 24 westbound between Clarksville and the Kentucky state line. I'm Ken Weaver.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN, the Matt Murphy Show in progress. All right, so Ken Weaver's going to miss this because I think Ken Weaver is out of the house. But I do need to, I promised, and I need to pay it off. Jackson, I mentioned to you that I have been in communication with Elon Musk.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Well, I want to share with you the latest. We'll back up and we'll start at the beginning and we'll move on to the latest communique between myself and Elon. I received this email on the 2nd of June in the year of our Lord 2026 at precisely 12:57 in the PM. And it reads as follows. And it's from Elon Musk. It says right here, Elon Musk. And it says, hello. It's me, Elon Musk. See, that's nice that he said that. In case I didn't see, right there in the subject, right there in the sender, it says Elon Musk.
What's that email if you click on it?
Let's see. Oh, Jackson. It's elon.musk.official3219@gmail.com.
Oh.
It says official.
Yeah, can't beat that.
You know it's true. So anyway, let me get off of this very carefully so as not to infect myself. Hello, it's me, Elon Musk. Someone introduced you to me about your profession. Now, I wanna, WANNA, I wanna offer you contract. Hit me up immediately.
Did you?
As we discussed on the 2nd of June, 1 week ago, I did. At 3:47 in the PM, during this radio show, I wrote Elon, and I said, that sounds great. What do I need to do? What important information of mine do you need? I'm here at your disposal. I love you long time. Also,
Wait, it does not say.
No, I said that. I wrote this. I wrote this. I love you long. So let me start over. That sounds great. What do I need to do? What important information from me do you need? I'm here at your disposal. I love you long time. Also, my good friend Ken Weaver wants to chat. Can I send him your private email? Signed, Matt Murphy. Elon has responded. Dear Mr. Matt Murphy, thank you for your kind words. I appreciate your loyalty and trust. You are a very special person. Elon called me special. That's nice. Yes, your friend can contact me with this very private email address as well. Please keep our communication private because of security reasons. FYI, the contract has already been approved, which is why I contacted you. We definitely need contract additional senior manager at SpaceX. Please review the attached contract document carrying your name for details. The official requirements are as follows. So this is what the requirements, okay? Number 1, a degree in engineering, science, or technology. I do not have that.
You have a Bachelor of Science? No, you went to drama school.
I have a liberal arts degree. Yeah. I mean, it's a Bachelor of Arts degree, BA. A degree in engineering, science, or technology, but don't worry. Don't worry. Just wait for it. Number 2, around 10 plus years of experience. Number 3, leadership experience. So I need 10 plus years of experience, but then I need leadership experience. Number 4, experience on successful projects. So in addition to leadership experience or 10 years of experience, I also need experience on special projects. And number 5, strong technical and problem-solving abilities. Number 6, a proven record of achievement. But then Elon goes on to say, however, don't worry if you do not meet these requirements. I will help arrange paperwork and documents that will cover all of the requirements for you. Whatever qualifications you have, documents can be provided, and we will make everything work.
That sounds illegal.
Illegal is Elon Musk. And then we have a document. Look, I have an offer of employment right here. Let me make sure that there's
nothing.
You should
click on it.
Right there. Look at there. You see that?
Is there a logo on it?
Yeah, it says SpaceX right there on the top. It says SpaceX offer of employment. Matt Murphy, on behalf of Science Exploration Technology Corporation, we are pleased to offer you the position of Senior Director of Engineering. Based in Hawthorne, California, we believe your skills and experience will provide valuable addition to our team. You know how much my base salary is going to be, Jackson?
How much?
$300,000. It's not bad, huh? With an ability to make a bonus, a performance-based bonus of $100,000, and Oh, an equity award of another $100,000. So my total annual compensation is targeted at $1/2 of $1 million.
Well, you got to remember the performance thing. So with your qualifications, probably.
So it's got Elon's signature on this, CEO, and all I have to do is sign it and return it, and I'm out-ski, buddy. And this show is yours.
Okay.
How about that? You like
We're
that?
talking sports tomorrow.
No. Hey, by the way, what do you think of that fella that was gambling on all of that? And
I literally did that yesterday.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I won nincompoops with it, remember?
Would you like for me to go to 1 or 4?
1.
Wayne is next. Hello, Wayne.
So it's got Elon.
Oh, dear. Hey, Wayne.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Wayne, turn that radio down there and just talk to me on the telephone, buddy.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
All right. What'd you think of that offer from Elon Musk? That's a pretty big deal, huh?
Well, I don't know about that. I wanted to talk about
Gosh, Wayne.
I'm sorry.
That's okay, Wayne. It's all right. It's all good. Listen.
Dead gum aggravated. You want to think about certain ethnic people. You got to do the right thing. I don't know.
Wayne, this might come off as mildly rude, but I think I'm going to do the right thing right now, and I'm just going to go ahead and hang up on you. Because I feel like that was the right thing to do. Jackson?
Yes.
Okay. So, Wayne,
for all of our jobs.
That was mostly for you, but partially for me.
And me.
And Jackson, that we did that. So, love you, buddy. Thank you for listening to the show. Appreciate you participating in the show. Call us back sometime. Maybe a little bit earlier in the day. Is that fair? Is that fair? Mike is in Old Hickory. Hey, Mike.
How you doing?
Speaking of being in the sauce, how are you?
SpaceX Friday.
How about
IPO.
that? Hey, you hear that?
Okay.
Elon understands a big deal when he sees it, Mike. I'm going to go to SpaceX and I'm going to make something of myself.
And then I want you to answer this question.
All right.
We had an Apache helicopter shot down, and Trump is just sitting there going, oh, well, we'll do a little bit of a response, take out a missile site. We're 2 to 3 days with a big deal with Iran. We've been hearing a big deal now for 2 months, and we haven't got any deal.
Not squat. It's a bad deal.
Not
We need
squat.
to get the hell out of there. Figure out a way to get the hell out of there.
Get the hell out of there. And guess what?
Yeah.
IPO, SpaceX Friday.
Wait, SpaceX what?
SpaceX IPO Friday.
Okay. SpaceX
IPO.
Friday. You said Friday. Got
Friday.
it. Got it.
You got it?
Got it.
Okay.
Well, I'm a part of the team, so I feel like I got some sort of revenue sharing that's going on. Because my contract has been approved. I don't know if you guys saw that or not, but I put it up there on the screen for everybody to see. It's official. It's got the SpaceX logo and everything else on it. When we return, there has been... So if you're wondering where the country is going with regard to the cultural war that is happening in the United States of America, look no further than Europe, more specifically in the United Kingdom. In Belfast, Ireland, which is just north of the UK... North, is that right? I think that's right, isn't it? Yeah, north and east?
Sure.
Or north and west?
I don't know. I didn't take geography.
That tracks. There was an attempted beheading. Did y'all see this story? Did you see this story? I know you didn't see the story because not a lot of people are talking about this story. A Muslim individual tried to behead someone in Ireland, in the streets of Ireland. And the media is refusing to call it terrorism. As a matter of fact, Ireland refuses to call it terrorism. I've got the details coming up for you in just a moment. Plus, before we go, I promised that I would get to the John Rose poll. John Rose last week when we talked to him on Friday said, I got new polling information, Murphy, that's going to blow your mind with regard to where this gubernatorial race is. Marcia is considered to be, almost a fait accompli in the governor's race in the Republican primary. And some of the polling data indicates that. I'm not a big fan of polls, but I sure as hell am not a fan of straw polls, and I'm sad to report to you that's what John was talking about. And I will help you understand the difference between a real poll and a straw poll coming up in a moment on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My friend, hey, hello, Matt. My friend sent this to me from his trip in Denmark. He said it means start, and it's slut. I thought maybe it is start. I thought it was finish. I thought slut meant finish in Dutch or in Denmark, but I could be completely wrong about that. Jackson, I've got some results for you. Would you like to know who won Nincompoops in the news
I
today?
already know.
Do you?
Yes.
Congratulations, Jackson.
Thank you. 2 days in a row.
That's day number 2. You are well on your way to securing the trophy back in friendly territory.
Might try to go for the clean sweep.
Why not? I mean, I don't feel like I'm even trying anymore. So there's that. Then there's, speaking of not trying anymore, is John right? So John was on our show last Friday, and John took exception with the idea that Marcia has this commanding lead. And if y'all know my show for any length of time, you know that I don't put a lot of stock into polls. Polls are what they are. They are a snapshot in time. So if I were to tell you, hey, a poll came out today and it was conducted last week and it examines the gubernatorial race in Tennessee, that poll is a snapshot. It's a Polaroid. It is nothing more nor less. Now, if you do a series of polls and you put those together and you see a trend, you can extrapolate valuable information from those polls in terms of movement and momentum. But I don't put a hell of a lot of stock in polls. I think far too many polls are done to generate news headlines. Y'all follow? So when an ABC or an NBC or a CBS organization is engaged in the polling, I believe that polling is designed to get a headline when the poll is done. And that's not the purpose behind polling. The polling is to glean information, valuable information. And in order to do that, you have to have a series of polls. And so I kind of pushed back a little bit on John with regard to his claim that they are trending in the right direction in this election. I was like, I just don't see a lot of movement from you. Well, John said, no, Murphy, there's going to be polls, boy. There's going to be polls this coming week that are going to show you that we are most certainly trending in the right direction. Well, over the weekend, John sent me the polls that he was referring to. And look it, John seems a nice guy. He seems to be well-liked in the 6th Congressional District. And frankly, I think if he were running in the 6th Congressional District, he would serve as a congressman for at least the next couple of years. But he decided to run for governor. He's running against Marcia. And this is not a commentary on liking Marcia or not liking Marcia or liking John or not liking John. It's not personal in any way. It's just the numbers are what they are. And so when you tell me, hey, I got these big polls that are coming up and they're going to show you that we are moving in the right direction, I'm like, okay, I'm ready to listen. I'm ready to look. I want competition. I think that, a rising tide lifts all boats. John sent me a straw poll. Y'all know what a straw poll is? Do you know what a straw poll is, Jackson?
Drawing straws?
Sure. One would think. So a straw poll is a political organization holds a gathering, and they want to get as many people as they possibly can at their gathering. And so especially during election years, like Nashville GOP, Davidson County GOP, Williamson County GOP, every county has a GOP, right? Every county has a Democrat thing. And all of these little local GOP organizations want to get as many people to buy tickets to their event as they possibly can. And so they announce to these various campaigns, hey, we're going to have a straw poll. At the end of the event, everyone's going to vote on who they want to be governor and who they want to be, congressperson and who they want to be this or that or the other thing. And you have a chance to vote as long as you buy a ticket. They do this because they know that it's a way to generate ticket sales because the candidacies will buy tickets so that they can vote in their own polls so that they can elevate themselves. So John sent me a straw poll from the Overton County Reagan dinner in Livingston, Tennessee, that showed him beating Marsha Blackburn 62% to 20%. John got 128 votes, Marsha got 41, and Monty Fritz got 37. Do you know what this straw poll means, Jackson?
About as much as you paid for it?
Nothing. That's exactly right. John, best of luck to you. And we'll talk to John again at some point. We'll talk to you again as well. That's going to wrap it up for us for a Tuesday edition on this June 9. For Jackson Williams, for Ken Weaver, Matt Murphy speaking and saying...